New Orleans, and Lafayette. LMFJ.com.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Wednesday, November 15th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 63. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert. Yeah! Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome in. Wednesday, November 15th, 2023, and this is TB. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. Be safe out there. Still wet. Still kind of dreary and still trafficy. So be safe getting into work today. And, if you're stuck in traffic, well, just come hang out with us as we get a good show planned for you. Pelly's winning last night. Some LSU recruiting news. Some Saints transactional news, which might bum you out, Jake, ahead of the...
Yeah, I saw.
Ahead of the bye week, I know.
I saw.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
I know. The Saints waived Adam Prentice.
You might be wondering who is Adam Prentice.
Yes, and that is understandable.
Yeah.
Adam Prentice is the Saints' lone fullback on the roster. Waived. Keith Kirkwood officially back on. KK back once again. Meaning the closest thing to a fullback that the Saints have left on their roster is Kalen Saunders.
Yeah. Who I love.
Or just get Taysom Hill to do it, you know?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, this just tells you exactly where that position is.
Yeah. I mean, they're straight up going to, unless, are these roster shenanigans within the bye to somehow maybe bring back next week? I mean, Kirkwood obviously trying to have help with Mike Thomas.
Kind of why would they? Because he got Wally pipped. They put somebody in there. They're like, oh, we can just keep a defensive lineman that is in the rotation.
Oh, so you're being serious with the Wally pipped. Like, you really, okay, so you really think they're like,
yes.
Wait, the only roles we were using Prentice for actually Saunders?
Yeah.
So that's legitimate.
I think so.
I mean, teams are like double teaming him and stuff, so yeah. He's had a legitimate impact.
Yeah, also Prentice kind of sucked.
He did have a bad fumble against Tampa.
And if you're a fullback, you just can't have it. You know, you just can't do it in that situation.
I swear to you, I mean this with every ounce of me. You can't get hurt as a fullback unless you're Juice. That's the only time you can get hurt.
Yeah. Which we are. Screw you, Kyle Juszczyk. You suck. You took our Senior Bowl spot for our boy Jake.
We're on the all 75th anniversary Senior Bowl team. Comes down to me and a fullback from Harvard, and we let the Harvard guy win.
Pathetic.
Sheesh.
Absolutely pathetic. You hate to see it, as if he doesn't have enough.
Yeah.
You think he just attended Harvard because of hard work, or are the money that his family was entitled to? You know, I don't. I actually know nothing about Kyle Juszczyk's background.
Really
Anyway, who just wrote Jason Pierre-Paul in here?
That was me.
Yes, why? I mean, I know that he signed with the Saints, but expound
He
upon
was
it.
signing with the practice squad. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champion,
mentioned
man.
it
3-time Pro Bowler.
that yesterday for a little bit.
Yeah, true. It always is kind of fun when one of those old recognizable names joins your team. I don't. I mean, does Jason Pierre-Paul have any juice left? I guess only time will tell.
It is interesting that they signed him the game after their two edge rushers had their lowest graded game.
Yeah.
That's about where I can get you, T. Because Carl Granderson's played great. We've talked about that. We know what Cam Jordan is, and we know where he's at in his career, but still Cam Jordan playing at a pretty
Probably
high level.
Speaks to Foskey more than anything, huh?
Yes.
I would say so, that Isaiah Foskey just potentially, at least here early on in his career, trending towards another missed early pick at that position. Does anybody know, have we got confirmation, is Peyton Turner still on the team?
Yes, he's on IR.
Okay. I'm just checking. I'm just making sure
Yes.
that he is still currently employed by the New Orleans Saints. I didn't know if we needed to send out a missing persons report, maybe contact the severely understaffed NOPD so they could ignore something else. Yeah, I don't know. Shout out Jason Pierre-Paul. I don't know. That's cool. Maybe he comes in, he does something fun.
If anything, he's been available the last 2 seasons. 12 starts with Tampa Bay in 2021. 13 starts last year with Baltimore.
Okay.
He's only a couple years removed from the 2020 season where he had a really good year, 9.5 sacks, against
for
Drew
some
Brees,
reason I thought he was
playoff
out of the
game.
league last year. So if he's still
He
contributing.
wore number 4,
okay.
looked good in his uni,
Yeah,
but
he's with
everybody
the,
looks good in their Ravens
Yeah,
uni.
he's with the Ravens. He made the Pro Bowl in 2020 when the Bucs went on that Super Bowl run with Brady, like Mario mentioned, 9.5 sacks. Like, I don't know, he may still have a little bit of something.
Yeah, not nothing. 3 sacks last year. I mean,
Okay, JPP. Well, yes, not nothing in the context of your
of
backup
you
guys.
sitting there being an audio producer on Off the Bench.
more than Marcus Davenport.
For someone who started 13 games.
Yeah,
More than Davenport and Turner put together.
Yeah, no, that's
Well,
what I'm
that's the
saying.
production
No,
you've been
yes.
getting.
Not nothing in relation to
To what
the
you've
Saints
had.
backups.
All right.
True. Absolutely true. There's a role for JPP to play, perhaps. Hey, what about this LSU game coming up this weekend, boys? This time of the year is always weird to me where, I don't know, the late, like, early season cupcakes kind of feel like they are what they are. I was feeling this during Army as well because later season cupcakes feel less and less exciting. The only saving grace for Army was that it was an Armed Service Bowl and you had some cool elements there and bunch of veterans getting to go to the game, being honored, the camo end zones. Like there was cool pomp and circumstance. And Georgia State's even a pretty good team. Like Georgia State's not like an awful team, but I am. I mean, I don't know why it's hitting me so much harder this year. Maybe it's because I'm realizing that like a drug addict, I need the fear and the struggle more than anything else to give me something to look forward to during the week, to just give me something to remind me that I'm alive and entertainment outside of just like the daily responsibilities. But damn, I'll be damned if I don't hate this game being your second to last game of the year on November 18th.
I'm right there with you, and it happens across the SEC, and it really, like, you feel like you're getting in a good momentum. You're excited. It's the end of the season. You're about to have rivalry week, and everything's going in the right direction, and it just comes to a screeching halt.
And it's like, we talk about bowl games and guys not playing in bowl games. I'm glad that everybody's going to play, but it is hard to see what the benefit is here for the players.
You want to hear?
Cui bono? Who benefits? A classic question that you should ask yourself when trying to ascertain any situation and the motivations behind it.
Here is the list of SEC opponents this week: Georgia State, UT Chattanooga, UL Monroe. Let's see. We got some other barn burners in here. You've got Southern Miss, Mississippi State, maybe, I guess. Abilene Christian, New Mexico State, Florida International. Now, there is some conference games. You got Kentucky, South Carolina, Florida, Mizzou, Georgia, Tennessee. But I'll give you that list again. Georgia State, UT Chattanooga, UL Monroe, Southern Miss, Abilene Christian, New Mexico State, Florida International. Florida International, Arkansas, how much money would I have to pay you for you to sit through all 60 minutes of that in person?
Well, not as much as you would think if Polar Express was on. I could just maybe tune into. Actually, I don't. Okay, for those that don't understand the reference, Arkansas freshmen, guys that aren't on the travel roster, right? For home games, they still get dressed out like you do. Apparently, they have like a little side locker room away from the team because they say that the whole team can't fit in the main locker room. Which, we had guys kind of out in the hall.
We had an auxiliary locker room.
Yeah, we had
for
an auxiliary
walk-ons.
locker room. Yeah, exactly. Same type of deal. What we did not have was a television within there with access to cable. Apparently, Arkansas did. And at halftime, while Hugh Freeze and Auburn is beating in their brains, the freshmen were watching Polar Express. And somebody Snapchatted it to a friend who then, of course, it went public. And next thing you know, when it rains, it pours for source Sammy Pittman. Like, he's not in that locker room. He has no idea what's going on. And yet now it looks like his team is watching Polar Express at halftime with just an absolute ass whooping. Just a
It is funny enough.
bad time.
It is funny enough for that to happen at a halftime of a game. But the fact that it was Polar Express, like, that just makes it so much better to me.
Well, I mean, can we be honest about Polar Express? It's not that good of a movie.
It is not.
And it's not even a good Christmas story. I hate the color palette. I never even liked the book, really. It's so muted and brown and gray. The animation comes at a time, or even at the time, I didn't really love the animation style. I'm just not that big of a fan. Like the new Grinch from Illumination Studios, the Despicable Me Studios, smashes it. I don't know, any of the classic cartoons, any of the claymations, like it would be in my bottom 25% of Christmas movies. But I feel like some of the younger generation loves it, so maybe I'm out of touch. Apparently the Arkansas freshmen do.
Yeah.
And they're about half my age, so maybe I'm the old.
Polar Express, though, it's, I don't know that it's time to even pull out Polar Express just yet.
Look, Arkansas has clearly moved past the season.
Yeah, sure.
Right? I mean, they're already into off-season mode. It's already December post. I mean, think about this, Jake. This is not a perspective that we had because, of course, why would we ever miss a bowl game? But if you don't have a bowl game, you're almost out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're almost going to get to go home for a little bit.
You got Florida International, and then you get your butt kicked by Mizzou.
Yeah, and then you get to go chill for a little bit and probably watch your head coach be fired and have to decide what you're going to do. It's a bad time.
What's the funniest screenshot that Snapchat could have taken, as far as movie scene? I'm thinking if they would have had Cameron Poe in Con Air with his hair blowing in the wind, that would have been fantastic.
Yeah, that would have been great. That's one of the great all-time single shots. I feel like the SpongeBob movie would maybe even be worse for some reason. I don't exactly know why. It's just what popped into my head. But either way, a bad look for Sammy P, even if it really has nothing to do with him. But the overall point of this is that, you know what, Jake? I hope you're happy. Because these games are because of your boy, Mark Stoops. And ESPN, to be fair, for not wanting to sally up and go to a 9-game SEC schedule.
Mark Stoops plays South Carolina this weekend. What are you talking about?
These crappy-ass games that continue to infect the schedules is because your boy gets paid $8 million a year to go 3-5 in the SEC, but still win 8 games because he gets to play these sorts of
They're
games.
going to go 4-4 this year, and
Are
he's
they really?
also they're 3-4 and
Congratulations.
they're playing South Carolina.
$2 million in SEC win, you love to see it.
They finish off with a top 10 Louisville. Thank you very much. So they go South Carolina and then on the road to top 10 Louisville.
Yeah. Okay. Again, another game that Stoops has been very fortunate that
beat
Louisville's
Lamar.
been bad. Okay, we're going to see what happens against Braum and company. Maybe Mark's got one up his sleeve. Either way, this is again, as we look for, as the hostile takeover of television over college football continues, what I do look forward to is getting rid of this, especially at this time in the year.
Yeah.
Or, like I said, early season cupcakes when you're still a man in the desert who just stumbled upon a source of water and you're so thirsty for football, it's more acceptable at that time. Having your entire SEC slate playing crap this weekend is just boring as hell, and it's tough to get juice going. And again, it's just a risk for the players. If you're a great player that's trying to go to the NFL soon, what the hell do you want to be doing playing Georgia State? Play somebody that gives you a little bit of a pulse. That said, Jayden Daniels, you obviously still want to see him play very well. You want to see him try to continue his march towards a Heisman. Same to be said for this offensive line, which is trying to win the Joe Moore. Malik Neighbors obviously going to be up for Biletnikoff. So on an individual level, there's a lot left to play for. But without, with bowl projections sending you to what I've seen, like Outback, Gator, stuff like that. Good, potentially gets like Clemson or Dame, which could be very fun. But it just lacks the juice to kind of get you too excited about this weekend. But great family game. So
I wonder how much.
And then an 11 a.m. A&M kickoff.
Yeah, I know. We can talk about that, certainly. But I wonder how much this game, you're a 31-point favorite, but you also, for all the things that you just laid out, like individual awards, how long will you play your guys in this game? Like, does that matter? Or you're like, hey, we need Jayden to get a couple more yards here for this Heisman campaign. Or, hey, let's get Malik involved. He's only got 75 yards. We need him over 100.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, hopefully – hopefully they can put up massive stats in the first half.
I don't know if this coaching staff, obviously I didn't play for this coaching staff, but I can tell you coaches think about that. I have been in a game where I go over 100 yards, and I remember Larry Porter coming over to me saying, all right, you got 100, you're done.
Yeah.
And go sit down. You're not playing the rest of the game.
And I know in the NFL they think about it sometimes from the opposite direction. We're like, hey, this guy's about to get paid. Make sure he doesn't get the 5 catches that he needs to.
Right.
Now, sometimes we've seen the opposite. Like Sean Payton was very good about pushing guys to hit their incentives and get them paid. But some ownership groups, the cheaper groups in the past, have basically passed down the messages to coaches and been like, hey, make sure he does not hit this today. We do not want to give him this extra money if we have the game won. Which, whatever. All right, so when we get back here, let's get into some LSU recruiting news. We can talk about an 11 a.m. kickoff. New Orleans Pelicans getting off the slide last night. Mid-season tournament, boys. Hell yeah. The court actually looked fantastic. We'll get into all of that. If you want to get involved, youtube.com/1045ESPN. Am I wrong about Polar Express? And we'll talk college football playoff as well. But let me know. Give me your top 3 animated Christmas movies. Coming up next. Well, not that, but we can get that whenever throughout the show. Here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Community Steel Company, communitysteelco.com. You want steel? Out of steel? Oh, get it like steel out of steel. Steel, the price of a steel. We should work that. Just like they work the steel right there on site in their incredible fab machines that they've made at Community Steel Company. Look, you need purlin, tubing, steel buildings. It's all made right there in Gonzales, Louisiana, which started as 15,000 square feet of warehouse, Jake, is now over doubling. Okay? And it's because their customers are satisfied because the live and local sales team, the incredible prices, the quality of the product. Go touch it and see it for yourself. And look, commercial, like if you're a company, or your personal steel needs, it's all there for your Community Steel Company.
Metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal trim, they do it all over at Community Steel. Go to that website T-Bob gave you, communitysteelco.com. You'll see everything that we tell you about, and also you'll see right there in Gonzales, Louisiana. Give them a call today, 225-647-2020.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
His name was Cain. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
The best this Sunday as we bring you 3 different NFL games. We start with the noon kickoff, the Chargers at Packers. Immediately following that, it's Buccaneers at 49ers, and then the night game, the Vikings and Broncos. Catch all 3 of those games right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
No sleep till
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Pedro says, fullbacks are to football what the little toe is to the human body. There are other toes that do the work.
Damn. How big a boy are you, Bo?
Damn, dude. To be fair, I don't think...
929 Government Street.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't think my pinky toe touches the ground. I've stubbed it. I have no awareness of my right pinky toe. I don't know why. And I've just stubbed it into oblivion. and it just kind of hangs up like off the ground a little bit. The toenail's been knocked off probably 6 or 7 times. Not unlike a fullback, right? It's mangled itself into oblivion, Jake. Just running into objects 24/7 and just taking pain upon pain upon pain.
Taken for granted.
Yeah, taken for granted, right?
Yeah.
Maybe like I legitimately think I could snip off my pinky toe and be on the pain when it would not realize when it needed it. Until, maybe pride comes before the fall, and then I go to like make a cut and I just fall over.
Yeah. I mean, it's what happens to front runners. They think they don't need something until they do.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Speaking, by the way, some people asked about the kickoff this weekend. It's a 7 p.m. This should be flipped. You have a 7 p.m. kickoff against Georgia State this weekend. You have an 11 a.m. kickoff against Texas A&M the following weekend. Of course, that's because LSU loves night games. So in these smaller games in which I believe you have more wiggle room. You get to choose, because what channel will this be on, right? Like
Probably SEC Network.
Oh, you think SEC Network? I didn't know if it was going to be on like one of the kind of digital-only avenues.
Actually, Roy Philpott and Roddy are calling it, so it might be like ESPNU or something.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, it seems like LSU has a way of getting the small out-of-conference games at night because they like having night games, and it's great for everybody on game day or whatever. But when you play an A&M, which are two great brands, but you're both not that good in terms of the relevant or in terms of the national scale, then you get slotted in to that 11 a.m. time the following week. So, oh wow, is it really ESPN2? Oh my God. Never mind. But yeah, so 11 a.m. against Texas A&M, which is not the best, kind of lame. I still expect LSU's actually great in 11 a.m. games. Like I don't think it functionally matters on the field. Yeah. Just from a spectator standpoint, I love beating A&M's ass under the lights. Senior night is always better under the lights. Jayden Daniels deserves to be honored under the lights, a la Joe Burrow with the Godfather entrance. And I know the crowd's going to be elite and everything, but it does, it's just kind of a bit of a bummer.
Yeah, and also you're going to have Ohio State and Michigan playing at the same time, right? So it's going to be the last opportunity that Heisman voters are going to get to see Jayden Daniels, and it's going to be a noon kickoff on the East Coast, 11 a.m. here, and they're going to be watching Ohio State, Michigan. The people that are going to be voting that don't want to watch LSU, they're going to be watching another game, and I'm sure they'll tell me Marvin Harrison deserves to be the Heisman Trophy winner time and time again. But that's another thing. Like, you're not going to maybe get that last chance to wow like he did on Saturday.
So, for what it's worth, I mentioned that Joshua Perry is going to try to pull that on me yesterday, and he did end up saying that. No, look, let's be clear. Jayden is my Heisman vote. He's basically on the side that he just wants Marvin Harrison to go to New York. And I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. Marvin Harrison wants to go to New York, go to New York. But there's no way he should win the Heisman. Marvin Harrison is the best player on a championship team. He is not the best player in America. Against Notre Dame, he had 3 catches for 33 yards. Against top 10 teams in losses, Jayden Daniels has averaged, I think, 390 total yards, scored 9 total touchdowns. It includes getting knocked out of the Alabama game, and includes a Florida State game in which he was good, not great by his standards, and was still kind of finding his way, right? Like, if you go back and you play Florida State again, not only is there potentially a chance that you win because I don't think you squander those first half opportunities, but it's just it just all feels. But whatever, I guess Florida State could claim the same thing potentially. So no, I mean Marvin Harrison Jr. obviously not, but I didn't even think about that, Jake. That is a bad break for Jayden there in terms of eyeballs, especially because the following weekend you're gonna have championship weekend. He'll be at home, and people will continue to try to push Bo Nix over the top.
Yeah, you don't have championship week, right? You don't have that last opportunity to put out a performance that kind of clinches everything for you. So, unfortunately, 11 a.m. local time kick is going to be your last opportunity, and you're going against the game. It's literally called the game that everybody is going to be watching. And so you wonder, was last week enough? Now, he could still do things this week. He can do things against Texas A&M that you could probably go back and you can look at, but you want it to be in front of everybody. You wanted it to be, a night game, all the different Jimbo Fisher storylines going on because of his time at LSU. He's fired. Who's A&M going to hire? You wanted all those viewers to tune in as well.
Brian Kelly needs to chirp up about Jayden being worthy of the award. Well, let's be clear. Brian Kelly has been advocating for Jayden Daniels to win this award. It's what the entire Monday press conference was about. It's what the entire post-game press conference was about. And, with Georgia State on the horizon, guys, I'm going to take a guess and say it's what the entire SEC teleconference today will be about. In recruiting news, a bit of bad, a bit of potential good. Kai Bates, a top 100 cornerback, a 4-star quarterback. He was in the class of 2024, so right around the corner here. He was the 9th-ranked quarterback in the nation, 98th player in the nation. And, if you care about these things, Jake, the 98 maybe matters a little bit because LSU does have a distinct lack of top 100 players in this class. Kai Bates, cornerback, position need, has decommitted from LSU. This after committing in July, and it follows a visit to Florida State, an unofficial visit to Florida State last week. And if you look at the 2024 class right now, some places I've seen them at 14. I believe in the On3 rankings, LSU's at 12. It's with 25 commits, which is kind of a bit worrying, right? Because normally when you get up to 25, you're a bit higher just because you have volume, right? And in the past, we've used a lot of critiques about, oh, well, this team is ahead of you, but look, they have like just more players committed. Let's see where you get. So you have a high volume. It's not of the highest quality according to the recruiting
Remember,
services.
though, you can get up. You can sign. You just got to get up to 85.
They go keep signing.
I mean, you can sign 35.
Yes, they're going to keep signing. To be clear, yeah, that's.
But
a
I
great
do
point.
agree with you. Like the
That's a
25 in our brain, we're so used to it being like, man, you got a full class.
Yeah, well, and it's like you look at some of the teams in front of you. They're in front of you, and they got like 20.
Yeah.
Or like 21, right? Here's the deal on recruiting, though. I don't panic until the end. There's a lot of recruiting left to happen here. We'll see how it all shakes out. Maybe make some last-minute pushes in the spring for some big guys. You still have 5 DBs in the class in terms of throwing a lot of guys against the wall at a position of need. But for the people that really live and die on this stuff, Jake, I think they're probably pretty upset with where LSU sits here currently, especially because, like, look, LSU should be a top 10 class, and we'll see if they land there. That's my base metric. I don't care about individual recruits. I do think on aggregate it matters, right? Like across like a team ranking as a whole. And I believe if you're in top 10, you're just fine. Could you strive to be better? Like Coach Joe always wanted to be in the top 5, was always going to be in the top 5. Under Brian Kelly, maybe that's not going to be the case. Top 10, though, is still, like, fine. You're still going to be relevant and doing exactly what you need to do. Unfortunately, LSU just right outside that bar right now.
Right now, also, like in the top 10 players in Louisiana, you've got 3 that are not committed to LSU. You've got Dominic McKinley, who's the #1 player in the state, 5-star edge rusher from Acadiana, is committed to Texas A&M.
Yeah.
You know, so that could get interesting depending on if he reopens his recruitment. I know recruiting's kind of changed, and NIL has a lot to do with it, and maybe the head coach doesn't have as much to do with it as it used to, but he could be someone who opens up his recruitment again. You've also got Relaford from Shreveport, another defensive lineman. He is committed to Texas A&M. He's #7 player in the state of Louisiana, so that's another player that potentially could come open again if he reopens his, recruitment because of Jimbo Fisher getting fired. So there's still other opportunities too within the state.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I don't know exactly how they calculate this, but On3's they've been very forward thinking about trying to figure out ways of doing like estimated NIL values, and they have a stat on there that's kind of like the average NIL that each player is commanding within the class, right? And that's where you start to feel a bit of that state economy come in, as the teams that you think about being the richer teams, all their averages are like 117, like 150,000, 120.
I've got it right now.
Okay, yeah, give them to me. And then LSU's are what, like 64?
So the average NIL for Georgia, 145. Ohio State, 145. 145,000 per recruit. Florida State, 117. Florida, 118. Alabama, 123. Oregon, 73. Texas, 120. Texas A&M, 94. Oklahoma, 69,000. Notre Dame, 78,000. Tennessee, 104,000. And then you get to LSU, 63,000. So you've got Georgia's double, Ohio State's double, Florida State is damn near double, so is Florida.
Georgia's nearly triple.
Alabama is basically double. Texas is double.
Well, doesn't feel great. And I'd be lying if it didn't say, like, that feels as if some of your fears about the Louisiana state economy and the NIL era coming into play. But, time will tell if Brian Kelly can overcome that. But those are pretty distinct gaps. So are those teams ranked ahead just in that NIL valuation, or those teams ranked ahead in recruiting as well?
Yeah, that's the ones all in front of LSU.
Those are all the ones in front of LSU in recruiting, you're saying, though.
Yeah.
Like those are the recruiting rankings.
Yes.
And that's all I'm
order.
pointing out. Yes. So
Yeah.
that's in order. So you can directly see the money correlating to the class.
And that's not even so. South Carolina, 81. USC's got more, 67.
South Carolina's at 81. I just read an article the other day about how South Carolina's like one of the most struggling fan bases in the country when it comes to
Clemson, 90. Auburn, 76. Michigan, 67. Penn State, 68. You beat Miami. They're 57. Ole Miss is definitely the lowest in the top 25, and they come in at 38. Top 20 because
that's
Wisconsin.
interesting. What would Louisiana and Mississippi have in common? being ranked dead last and everything and a lack of economic opportunity. Wow, interesting how that works. Well, I don't know. Look, football has a way of galvanizing us as a state, so maybe this is where we find some economic breakthrough just to be able to fund LSU football in the NIL era going forward. But hey, you know what though? If you're Brian Kelly, nobody's going to let you use that as an excuse. You still better recruit. You still better find ways to win championships because everybody will still fall back on the fact the last 3 coaches have won national championships. But that's a little disconcerting. It's a little disconcerting.
And not signals, just disconcerting that we see it in front of us.
I don't know. I would say that is disconcerting signals. That is indeed. Those are indeed disconcerting signals. Yes, Taylor.
I was going to say, it's not all bad because Harlem Berry looking like he's going to commit.
Okay.
He set his commitment date December 18th, and that comes on the heels of his visit to LSU this weekend against Florida. So, look, he's the nation's #1 running back. I get it. He's in 2025. Yeah, he's 2025. I get a lot of things could change from there, but so far this kid's been all LSU. I mean, he's right here in the state of Louisiana. He plays at St. Martin's. A little bit undersized, but he's putting on weight because, last year he played at 165.
2025 can be undersized. You got time to get it fixed.
He's close to 180 now.
Yeah, I love that.
And he hasn't lost any of his speed. He's a state champ in the 100-meter and the 200-meter. Runs a 10.5 100-meter. And a lot of people are like, well, he plays at St. Martin. Their district's bad. 10.5 translates to the next level.
Yeah.
A 21-second 200-meter, that translates to the next level. I'm not worried about what district this kid plays in at the high school level. I mean, he could flat out take the top off of a defense in the running and passing game because he's pretty good out of the backfield as well.
Well, and for what it's worth, a lot of smoke in the street that LSU is trending very nicely with the #1 overall quarterback in the 25 class as well, Bryce Underwood. So only time will tell on those guys. That is a long way out, but it would be a bit of a morale win if you were to get somehow the commitment from the #1 running back and #1 quarterback in the country in the same class. We'll have to wait and see. When we get back here on OTB, we'll get to your takes. I still want to talk Pels this hour as well. Pelicans get a big win last night. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Scoocha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded. Because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
It was a humid day. Barefoot children play. Looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards. which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
The best-kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR, presented by Pluckers. Georgia State head coach Sean Elliott will join us, preview his team's matchup with the Tigers, and we'll preview the weekend in the SEC with Russ Mitchell, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
On your mark, ready, set, let's go. Dance floor pro, I know, you know, I go psycho when my new joint hit. Just can't sit, gotta get jiggy with it. Ooh, that's it, now honey, honey, come ride. DKNY, all up in my eye. You got a Prada bag with a lot of stuff in it. Give it to your friend, let's spin. Everybody looking at me, glancing a kid. Wishing they was dancing a jig here with this handsome kid. Sick a cigar right from Cuba Cuba. I just bite it, it's for the look, I don't light it. Ill way to ammo on the hand, stay on play. Give it up, jiggy, make it feel like foreplay. Yo, my cardio is infinite. Big Willie Styles all in it. Getting jiggy with it.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
No. Damn, you really played Will Smith, huh? Couldn't help yourself. Couldn't help yourself because old boy's personal assistant's out here spreading malicious allegations. No love for the haters. Tell him, Willie. You'll always be my Fresh Prince, dog.
Hell yeah.
You'll always be my enemy of the state, dog. I've actually never seen Enemy of the State. Heard it's very good.
Yeah, it's good.
You know it's very good? Pelicans play mid-season tournament game last night.
You don't even know the name of the tournament.
Yeah, I do not know the name. The NBA Invitational, baby. Is that it?
NBA Cup, yeah, something like that.
Whatever, dude. It's awesome because the court is awesome. I take back everything I said. Pelicans break the streets. They beat the hell out of the Mavericks last night in the Smoothie King Center. And if you didn't see the court, give me a picture of the court because it is fantastic. When I originally saw the uniforms, I was picturing them, I guess, on the regular court, and I was kind of bleh, a little meh about the entire deal. But like most things in context, when taken as a whole, it's a very comprehensive package that gave off a very cool, weird vibe. It's the voodoo colors, and those are odd colors. You never see them writ that large, and combined with stuff like the Titantron in there and everything. I thought it was a fantastic, spooky, creepy, fun look that absolutely worked for me last night.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. They needed it. 5-game losing streak. Vibes were really bad, but the role players are the story for me. Like Zion and Ingram looks a little clunky so far. They need to get better, but having Dyson Daniels and Herb Jones on the court at the same time makes it almost impossible to score. One day soon, you're going to have Jordan Hawkins and Trey Murphy on the court at the same time. It's going to be really hard to play a three-point defense. So it's one game, but it's one that they needed. It was a really exciting night in the Smoothie King Center.
Look at that trophy, Mario. You see that trophy there at the center of the court? And the Pels right now, for what it's worth after the win in their division, West B, Denver's 2-0. Houston's 1-0. The Pels are now 1-1. Dallas 1-2. The Clippers are 0-2. Pels with a plus 18-point differential thanks to the big win. And you mentioned Herb. You know, if you're not convinced with what an incredible defender Herb Jones is, well, Luka Doncic right now is leading the NBA in scoring. He's averaging 32 points a game. Last night, he just torched the Pelicans for what, 30?
Yep.
When Herb was out, Herb comes back. What happens? Luka Doncic scores a season-low 16 points on 5 of 16 shooting. It's only the second time this year he's failed to eclipse 23. It's the overall lowest point total of the season for the Mavericks. He was giving Herb Jones love in the postgame afterwards, talking about what an incredible defender he is. And on top of shutting down Doncic, Herb also goes for 19, 4, and 4.
Yeah. That was awesome.
I mean, after the game, Lucas said he's just a great defender. You could really see his impact because he wasn't there the first time.
Yep.
I really admire that guy.
You could tell from the first quarter of the game, like the Pelicans were getting stops. They were getting out and running. And like I said, Dyson Daniels deserves a lot of credit too. He was on Kyrie a lot of the night, and he finished with 17 points on 6-13 shooting. So that combo is a lot of fun to watch. There's not a lot of spacing, not a lot of shooting with that starting five, but the defense is elite with those two guys.
Oh, and then Hawkins brought the shooting for sure last night. Jordan Hawkins continued to play well. Mario, how happy were you when Najee Marshall hit the buzzer beater at the end of the first?
Very happy. So when he took the shot, I'm not going to lie, I was kind of like, what are you doing? Because he went to his gather with like 2 seconds still left on the clock. But hey, went in. Shout out to Najee. Definitely provided a spark off the bench. And Alvarado is going to be back sometime either this week or next week, so that's even more energy on the court.
And what's the latest on Trey Murphy? As the Pelicans are already shooting it pretty well between Hawkins, Matt, or at least when in the games that they've won, like the shooting has shown up. But I still feel comfortable saying they're in a much better spot in that regard than they have in the past couple of years. And when Trey Murphy comes back, well, then they might be downright good at it.
Yeah, he's still a few weeks away. The progress looks good. He's on the court. He's running around doing some stuff, but not quite to 5-on-5 yet, so still a few weeks till we know more about Trey.
No Willie Green, no problem. Willie Green out with illness last night. Does J.J. Barrega need to be the head coach?
No, but I'm really glad he's the top assistant. Good work from him, especially in the third quarter yesterday. The Pelicans outscored the Mavericks up 44-31. Y'all know that's been a big problem during the losing streak, so good coaching.
So, Mark, do you know how the Invitational works here? Like, well, how many games? Like, what's the metric? Like, what do the top 2 teams advance from each group?
I believe the top 2 go to Las Vegas for like the end of the tournament, and I do know the Pelicans need to win their next 2 games for them to advance against the Nuggets and whoever they have after the Nuggets. Let's see, the Timberwolves, both at home.
Okay.
Friday and Saturday.
Man, speaking of the T-Wolves, Draymond choking out Cat last night.
Yeah, how about that?
Like a real-ass headlock, too. Like, locked in.
Yeah.
Pulling back on him.
Karl Anthony Towns, I'm going to need you to do a little bit more than just stand behind Draymond and then pat him on the butt.
Or, excuse me, choking out Gobert. That's right. Yeah, Cat did nothing.
Yes.
That was coward.
Like, come on, man. If that's the Pelicans, I guarantee you Najee Marshall and Brandon Ingram are both throwing punches.
Y'all think
Bro,
just
you
for
gotta
like
fight.
You think for just a second he's like, man, you started COVID.
I didn't think of that, but yes.
Hey, got your back.
Yeah, Gobert. God, he really did get. He kind of.
The start of the game too. I saw that highlight all night the same way you guys did, but I just saw the score was 0-0, and there was like 11 minutes left in the first quarter when that went down.
Well, yeah, it's the invitational tournament. Like, what do you mean? Everybody's fired up. Everybody's trying to win the cup.
And a lot of people on Twitter were
you
like...
You laughed, Taylor. There were a lot of fights last night.
No, I know. I saw
all throughout the league.
That's why I'm laughing, because I'm like, I know you're kind of being tongue-in-cheek,
no,
but
I'm
at
not.
the same time, you're also correct.
No, everybody wants it. There's a trophy on the middle of the floor. It means a little more.
Well, before the game, a lot of people said Steph's not playing. Draymond's going to find a way to get ejected. And like 1 minute into the game, a lot of people correctly predicted the future.
Draymond's like that meme where the guy throws up the deuces and disappears. All right, I'm out. All right, great win by the Pels. We'll see if they can
Great
build
one.
off it. They break the losing streak. Love to see that. And love the court as well. When we get back, let's close out hour number 1. Then we got Flestering kicking off hour 2 here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com. I am now the proud owner of not 1, but 2 murdered out minis. That's right, boys. How did I get so blessed in life? I don't know. But I now have 2 Toyota Siennas. The brand new one's really, really nice. I'm going to get the older one, which is fine. I love it as well. But, yeah, the people at All-Star just are they're just great, man. Guiding me through the entire process, finding me exactly what me and my family needs, giving me at a great price, right? Whether it's a Toyota certified used vehicle, a Toyota-thon's going on right now. Check out the deals at All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.
Did you accidentally, air quotes, take the keys to the new one this morning?
No, I had no. We still got to get do car seat shenanigans. No, I couldn't. I wanted to. I did want to, for what it's worth.
That's all right. You still have time. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford is taking $10,000 off MSRP on all new 23 Ford F-150 Black Widow trucks, plus $2,750 discount APR and 5.9% for 72 months. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Scoocha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our...
For a Wednesday edition of Off the Bench, as Matt Flynn joins the show in studio for a full hour of flestering, and we start to preview the football weekend, including LSU versus Georgia State.
Failure happens to us all.
but it's how champions evolve. The only thing that matters from our law.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 11:30 The Tiger.
So already we maybe have a bit of a, Louisiana economy as it relates to NIL is what it is. Yeah, we're just listening.
Terrible song.
Horrible. That was one of the worst songs I've ever heard.
Throw that into the Mississippi River and never bring that back.
If that was on YouTube, they should shut down YouTube until it's
My
removed.
God. And you hit play on that.
This is how champions evolve.
Stop. Anyway, as if, we just talked about kind of a cash-strapped Louisiana in terms of NIL. That's for LSU football. Right? And then there's LSU baseball that everybody loves. And then there's LSU women's basketball that everybody loves. Matt McMahon has his work cut out for him. No, you give me this look, Taylor. Listen to these numbers Jake's looking at right now for the LSU men's team.
All right, so average NIL per recruit. We talked about it in football. Your Dukes, 330,000.
330?
Yeah, 330.
Yeah, they do nothing for football, so that's probably their entire.
No, and it's less players.
Okay,
there's
you'll hear some teams that you heard in the other list too. North Carolina 308, Kansas is at 200, Alabama's at 96,000, Miami 253,000, Georgia 344,000, Indiana 319. You know where your Fighting Tigers are? They're 18th, by the way, in class rankings. Good class.
Shout out Mac McMahon.
$18,000.
Oh, my God.
$18,000 when you've got Georgia at 344,000.
Poor Mac McMahon, dude. Godspeed, sir.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Will Wade could have found that money. Maybe so. $18,000. Patient Plus Urgent Care, patientplusuc.com.
We pass the hat at the next PMAC game. You might get 18 grand.
I mean, maybe. It depends on how many people are there. Patient Plus Urgent Care, patientplusuc.com, where you will see the difference. For life's unexpected moments, get in and get better. They got great locations all throughout the state. And when you see the facilities on the outside looking in, you're going to be blown away. And then you're going to be blown away by the service, the quality that you get. Look, whether it's COVID, flu, cold, virus, whatever, stomach bug, your kids, you need to get in and get better. You need Patient Plus Urgent Care.
Go to the website, patientplusuc.com. Find that location that is convenient for you in the Baton Rouge area because there's going to be one. There's also going to be another convenience open 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. every single day. patientplusuc.com. Get in and get better.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
At Corvette Toyota in Opelousas, we're featuring 2023 Toyota Tundras with $2,000 bonus cash. $2,000 bonus cash offer on Toyota Tundras. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvette Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Good morning, everybody. It is 8 a.m. on Wednesday, November 15th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 63. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Oh, what is that? Jameson William eating ice cream and burgers? So salty and sweet plays together well. I can't fathom, though, that it wouldn't melt, right? Like, it's the temperature that's the problem there. Hey, wow, would you look at that? I didn't believe you, Matt. I'm sorry. Here I was. I thought for sure. I know traffic's awful right now. Thought for sure we were going to get like a, hey, guys, sorry, we're going to have to punt on this week. But instead, we got our guy, the My-High man himself, Matt Flynn, here for an hour of flustering. As we're going to dive deep this entire hour, y'all, we're going to be breaking down LSU, Georgia State, the players to watch, the things to know, the plays to call, the angles to observe. So keep it locked as we break down Panthers, Tigers, in a battle of the big cats in Death Valley this Saturday. Probably not. But they are playing.
You would be our Georgia State correspondent, being from Atlanta.
I don't think Georgia State. Well,
yeah, they are.
I'm pretty sure it existed.
They're in downtown.
No. I was gonna say I know it existed as a school. I don't think it had a football program. It's relatively new. I think it just started a couple of years ago, which is actually like good on them because they're pretty damn good for just starting here pretty recently. But, yeah. No, look, I think we're going to talk CFP rankings. We'll get Matt's reaction to Jayden Daniels and the man who looks like he's potentially heading towards a Heisman, his record-setting performance last weekend. We started looking at some of the best games from this weekend. I've got some insane buyout talk that maybe we want to get into, as also Flynn's former coach getting paid a cool $76 million to chill. How about that, Matt? Jimbo gets... So the lump sum payment within 30 days is $20 million, I believe, right? Mm-hmm. Then he gets an additional, basically 10 or 7 within.
7, and then it goes 7, 7, 7.
Okay, so that's going to be additional 7 within the next 60 days, and then for however many years he gets $7 million a year until he gets 76. Pretty good work if you can find it, huh, Matt Flynn?
Yeah, it's pretty. So I was reading a Peter Burns tweet earlier.
I think you should actually call Jimbo, see if you want to pick up an investor from my high.
Yeah.
He's looking.
Possibly you.
So this is put together a presentation for
He
him.
tweeted that until 2031, Jimbo's going to make $26,000 per day, which is roughly like $1,083 per hour.
Through when?
2031. So every hour, 1,000.
26,000.
But I mean, he's paying taxes on that though.
And he looks like he's aged 30 years in the last 6.
I mean, what a troll job by A&M. Bringing out the big check.
Yeah.
In the
No.
What was it, like 150 million or whatever?
I asked Billy Lucci about that, if that was purposeful, and he tried to say that it was a bad coincidence. And the people that he knows would not have done that if they had known. But I don't know. I don't know if I believe him.
Sure. Oh yeah.
But yeah, for what
I'm
Matt,
sure they didn't do it as a troll job.
This is coming. We got the money.
What matters, but the decision was made at that point. The decision was made on Thursday at the Board of Regents meeting. So what Matt's talking about, though, at halftime of the game on Saturday, in which A&M's beating the hell out of Mississippi State, and it's been a big kind of economic insecurity show today, so this is maybe going to add to it. The 12th Man Foundation presented A&M Athletics with a $120 million check.
Little donation.
120, which is a pretty damn big flex. That's probably the biggest big check I've ever seen. Like, it was one of the giant cardboard checks. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that amount on one, especially not in that context. Now,
but they're like, that's a $45 million profit they just got after Jimbo's buyout.
well, I was going to say $160 million check. Excuse me.
Okay.
470,000. Don't leave that off.
Well, I was going to say, though, Matt,
Good
actually,
that's
if you think about firing the staff and hiring a new one, it's probably about $100 million price tag. So, but I mean, you're still clearing 60.
Yeah, you're clear.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, like that's how you know A&M's got pockets. Now, granted, they're kind of like the entitled kids who think they can just pay their way to success, and they're learning more and more that's not going to work. But
at some point, it should work.
Yeah, but they haven't won a national
No,
championship
that's what I'm
since
saying.
1939.
No, when they look,
I'm saying at some point, like now that you can pay players legally,
when they finally hit
they've
on the
actually had
right
their
coach.
worst season since.
I get it. I'm just saying that eventually you are going to pay the right people.
When they finally hit on the right coach, he will understand what it takes to be good, and then the money will become an asset instead of maybe like a drain.
They haven't in 84 years, but there's always maybe.
Well, they have the Babe. They have the curse of the Babe. They have their own Babe Ruth curse.
I want to know
Pierre-Paul
if like
them.
the top 2 donors for that Jimbo buyout, because I'm sure there was some conference calls, maybe a few Zoom meetings with some donors.
So this is what I was going to get to. This is what Billy said that also blew my mind, is that it wasn't a situation where they had to make calls and be like, hey, we need the money. We need you to give this. They already had the money. No, I'm just saying what Lucci said. Like, I'm not saying that you're not telling donors, like, we're going to do this. And
I'm
we're gonna
sure
spend the
they
money
got
on.
some like some dark cloak meetings with some of their guys. They're like, hey, we're going to have $75 million less than the war chest. So you want
look,
you want to fill that baby back up?
A little secret society meeting?
Maybe so. Did
you just watch the Skulls this weekend or something?
Oh, yeah.
This was not all to my understanding, this was not like other reports. Like, remember when LSU was like cobbling together Les Miles buyout back in the day, and that's what it was, right? You're going to donors and be like, look, we want to buy him out. We need X from you. We need X from you. This was more of reportedly, we have the money, and then they tell the boosters, hey guys, we're going to do this.
Yeah. So you're saying like LSU situation, they were like, I can put something on it. I can put 5 on it.
They were. I
can't give you the whole thing, but I can do something.
They were going around as they were fundraising. A&M wasn't fundraising. Now A&M does have to explain that in the age of NIL, they're spending $100 million on switching coaching staffs, which is, comes with an opportunity cost of not being able to give that money to players. But
I would say you're pretty gullible if you're going to believe that they didn't run it by their top donors before it happened.
I think we're saying two different things. I don't think we're saying the same thing. I'm saying they had the money, and then they told the donors what is happening. I'm saying they didn't go out and fundraise for the buyout specifically. Sure. They already had it in the bank. Mm-hmm. That is the key difference in what I'm saying.
They're filling that bank up this week, though. They're filling it back up.
Yeah, because donors like, okay, I'm glad you made the move. Here's some more money, right? Like, yeah, for sure.
It'd be $1,098 per hour.
Speaking of, I mean, we should probably, now that we're already here.
Hey, good
get
for
into some of
Jimbo,
those
though. Can
numbers.
we all, like, round of applause for
Hell
Jimbo?
yes.
Good
Hell
for
yes.
him, dude.
It's awesome, dude.
What?
It's a dream. That's the American dream.
That's what I'm saying.
What do
It's
you
not like he didn't try hard and he was lazy.
Right.
He gave it his all.
What do y'all think he'll do? What do you think he'll do now, though? Because you know that man. You know he can't sit still. You know he is fidgety.
That's a good question.
He wouldn't.
man.
He's not going to be, in my opinion, someone that goes and does TV and radio. Would he sit out a year? Do you think he could end up at a place? We talked about West Virginia.
Go back to
on
West
Monday.
Virginia.
Go back home
Absolutely.
to where he's from. Could he go to Mississippi State? We talked about that on Monday.
No offset language in his contract either, so doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to look for a job. Doesn't matter if he gets paid a new job. He still gets all that buyout money.
Yeah, it's I definitely don't think he's going back to being a coordinator. I just don't know if he's got.
No, he wouldn't do that.
He's going to have to be a head coach, but I mean, he's got the scarlet letter on him for big schools, so he's going to have to find some medium tier, right? So I guess West Virginia could.
Yes,
work.
absolutely. Look,
that could work.
I don't think West Virginia's got the money to pay Neil Brown's buyout, which is really dumb.
Jimbo could do it for free.
But absolutely. But
whatever the minimum wage in West Virginia is, at least, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But if they would pay, I mean, if they would fire Neil Brown, I mean, of course West Virginia should go hire Jimbo, even though probably a bit of a flawed hire because you're hiring a guy that's like clearly kind of lost the thread and past his prime, but it's still a sexy name. For whatever that's worth.
Well,
but even then,
it doesn't matter what his offensive scheme is if he's past his he hadn't passed his prime on being able to recruit men.
No,
But
can you do that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he can talk. He can make you feel like the most important guy in the room.
I heard he called Rudy Neiswanger, who famously won the academic Heisman, the what is it? The smartest dumbass. Or what was it?
Something.
It was like the smartest dumbass he knows. He's like, which I thought was a great line because Rudy jumped off sides or something.
Jimbo is very famous for putting together like a beautiful tapestry of curse words.
I know. I heard some insults that I cannot relay over the air because they are very cancelable and offensive, but they are also some of the most deeply funny things I've ever heard in my entire life.
They truly are.
We've shared the one that I think that you can say on air when he used to yell at a player, "I wish your parents never met." I mean, we can say that. Yeah. Basically, like, "I wish you were not born."
I heard he told a player one time that was, and this is okay to say on air as well. Somebody, and this is a very good player returning from injury. He did something bad in practice, and he said, like, "I just wish you would have stayed hurt." What? What are you talking about, dude? Anyway, seems like a legend of the game.
Where Jamarcus and we were playing like musical quarterbacks. It was like, curse word, Jamarcus, get the curse word out. Matt, get in. Matt, get out. Jamarcus, back in.
So Neil Brown is kind of relevant in this conversation because right now, from January 1st, 2010 to January 1st, 2021, a total of $533 million in the Power 5 and Group of 5 has been paid to coaches in all sports for being fired. $500 million. If you just look from the start of the 22 season and now in football alone, $145 million are being paid to coaches not to work. This gives you an idea of how crazy Jimbo's 75 number is. Brian Harsin is second on the list at 15.5. Harsin kind of makes sense, right? It's Auburn. He got fired early in the contract. Frost is $15 million. Scott Frost from Nebraska. Again, Nebraska, major, big institution. Frost was hot at the time. I want to talk about how ridiculous buyouts are in general, but here's where it gets crazy. Jeff Collins from Georgia Tech, $11.5 million buyout. Why? What sort of dark magic are these agents working on these dumbass ADs that Jeff Collins is getting an $11 million buyout? Carl Dorrell from Colorado, who I'd never read his name before in my life, $8.7 million buyout.
It's Dorrell.
Whatever.
It is.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
It's
good coach.
Ridiculous is what it is. Paul Christ is getting $11 million. It's just, I don't
Is there
understand it.
There's nothing that can be done to reverse it either.
No.
Like, I'm not talking about the contracts, but to like
The market.
reverse the trend of where it's headed.
No,
like
no,
I remember
no.
it was at 2010 CBA and the NFL where they were like, all right, look, these rookie contracts are getting out of hand. Like you signed him when Sam Bradford got like $50 million guaranteed or whatever it was, and then they brought it back. But I don't think there's nothing that can ever change the direction that it's going. But can you imagine like being at home and being a fan that's mad that players are getting a little bit of money?
I know. Yeah, no, I cannot. That's a great point as well. I mean, Neil Brown, so Coach O got fired less than 3 years, in his third year after Natty, right? And even with the extension, his buyout was $17 million. Big number. West Virginia, after Neil Brown went 6-4 in the COVID year, extended Neil Brown to the point where had he been fired in his third year, which everybody wanted to last year, they owed him $20 million. Why did Neil Brown get $20 million buyout for going 6-4? What dark how dumb are these ADs? Just dumb?
Bowl eligible.
Yeah. Yeah. In a Big 12 only schedule, you got to reward that. I like, how did it all start? Because it used to be a recruiting thing, right? Like, the boys got to know I'm here. How am I going to recruit if they know you're not committed to me? Like, but here's the deal. If you're probably going to be fired, you probably suck anyway. So it's like a logical fallacy to say, I need to give you security to be able to recruit because people are worried about you getting fired. Like, if you can't recruit, you're probably not that good of a coach anyway. And if you're on the edge of getting fired, it's probably because you're not that good of a coach. So it's Jimmy Sexton literally just created a market that has no functional reason for being. And now, I mean, I guess maybe it makes more sense if you're competing with other schools, and other schools are like, hey, we'll give you this long-term security. And you're like, I got to hold on to my guy. But I don't know. I feel like Jimmy Sexton just created this incredible market where he just negotiates against himself and it just gets him and his clients paid so much money.
It's kind of like GMs, especially like first-year GMs in the NFL. They are so unlikely to cut their first-round pick.
Yeah.
So an AD doesn't want to do that because he's going to get canned.
Okay.
So he just he makes it
married.
seem.
Yeah.
And I'm sure like these head coaches, there's a skill involved with having your fingerprint on every single little thing that if you take the top guy out, everything else just falls apart because everything ran through the head coach.
No doubt. Yes.
You make it hard to fire you, right? And if you show a sliver of success to the man that hired you, then it's security for him.
You and I both.
But how did Jeff Collins get 11-4?
I've never heard of him.
I mean, I guess what he did at Temple, and I don't know, they were trying to secure. He
He's
had been
a
a
leader of
coordinator.
men.
He had been a coordinator in the SEC at Florida and Mississippi State. He's been in Alabama. I don't know.
Maybe,
I'm just trying to find a way.
And another thing is maybe the AD likes the direction it's going, likes the vision, likes how he talks to the team, handles his people. And if you give him security, it helps with recruiting.
See, but that's the idea. But does it actually help with recruiting? What recruiter's ever been like, hey, coach, congrats on the extension. I think I'm throwing my lot in with you now.
But like there's kids that won't go to a school that a coach might be on the hot seat.
If a coach is on the hot seat, though, a big buyout is not going to convince me that he's not going to be on the hot seat. I mean, look at Jimbo Fisher. Like, it's not even a guarantor of long-term security.
Jimbo probably got 2 more years,
It might not work
though,
on some people, but
because of the buyout, though, to be kind of right in the middle of it.
Maybe. Maybe not. I mean, just in 2020, he was 9-1.
But you can't say it didn't work because they had like the top recruiting class every year. So you can't say it.
No. Correlation does not equal causation. They're
NIL.
I mean, yeah, they created that class because they paid everybody a ton of money. You heard sliced bread.
I am shocked it's not.
You heard Jimbo. He said they didn't get him because they paid him.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. My bad. You're right. My bad.
Correlation is not. Can you define both those words?
Correlation. So two correlating factors.
Yeah,
two facts that happen at the same time.
I want to hear you explain
two things
it.
that happen at the same time, timing wise. They correlate with one another. You're like, well, he had the extension, and everybody committed. Sure. So what I'm saying is, just because those two factors line up, one did not cause the other. The number one recruiting class that's ever been signed ever was not like I'm in, you son of a gun. That buyout, say no more. Mm-hmm. I'm in here because you're in here. Hell no. I'm in because you're paying me over $100K. Hell yeah, I'd be in too. Why are Louisiana kids all of a sudden enamored with Texas A&M? Jimbo's buyout? No.
Yale leaders?
No. I like yell leaders. That's the.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I do.
You play the
I like the
videos
tradition
more
of
than
it.
any of us.
I enjoy the tradition.
They're hilarious, but I like them. And in 7th grade, I did go to an A&M game, and it was one of the coolest in-stadium experiences I've ever seen in my entire life. Having a fully coordinated crowd like that is badass.
If you're into it, it is a pretty cool experience. The yell leaders, growing up in Texas, A&M was one of the biggest schools. I was a Baylor fan, so I hated A&M, but I like the tradition behind everything.
Yes,
and
it's
they're
what
fun
made
to
college
laugh
football.
at.
It's what made college football
super
fun. It's
fun to
quirky.
laugh at.
Yeah.
And I mean, A&M has probably more traditions than anybody.
Well, okay, so have you heard about?
Did you know that if the dog, the mascot, if the dog walks into the classroom at A&M, the teacher's got to dismiss you. You know that?
That is like religious zealotry at its finest. That's like Stone Age, like superstition of sorts. I mean, me and Jake discovered a new tradition that we had no idea about recently that we absolutely love. Did you know this? After every home win, the freshman cadets storm onto the field and grab the yell leaders and carry them off and dump them in a fountain outside the stadium and watch as the yell leaders swim around and lead them in cheers.
Yeah, and they're surprised every time.
Oh,
when
my
they, yeah.
Oh,
okay, we got to go to break.
Pretty good.
That's enough.
Real quick.
Buyout.
Real quick. Anybody want to guess Jeff Collins' record at Georgia Tech?
Jeff with GEOF.
He's a Geoff guy.
He's a Geoff.
38
games.
38. 17 and what is that? 21. 17, 21. No, that's way too good.
I'll go 10 and 28.
11 and 27.
16 and 22.
Oh, wow. 19 and 19.
10 and 28.
Oh, boys, 11. I was so close. 11 and 27. What'd you say?
10 and 28.
He looked it up.
On the dot.
I don't even know who Jeff Collins is.
Did you just price him right me? You just went one game underneath me?
That's 10 wins, bub.
I just took 10 because I was like,
in 38 games, yes.
Wait, so this dude is getting over $1 million in buyout money per dub, per career.
Hey, Mississippi State, he was your coordinator from 2011 to 14. Reunion?
Hire Jeff Collins. All right, when we get back, more flustering.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off MSRP on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. $20,000 off plus no payments for 90 days on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast all of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family at Front to Back Boat Service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always
Charles Hannegriff. Join us for the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch from Modesto, Burbank at Nicholson. Scott Rabelais with us, as well as Wes Reynolds and the red hot Randy McKay. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Don't shine no more. And so the songs are way down low. Turn it, a sound that flows into my mind. The echoes of the daylight, of everything that is alive.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Was Lavallee at the 03 thing on Saturday?
I didn't see him.
Damn.
There was, I would say most people showed up. I'm trying to think. There was a couple of no-shows.
I heard too, so y'all walked.
Kyle Williams wasn't there.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Oh, he's in the playoffs.
Yeah, but I think they had a bye week.
Oh.
Well, no excuse.
He's grinding, coach.
Wow.
Grind
bye
that
week,
film.
and he didn't even come down. Bad teammate.
Bad
Just
luck,
kidding.
Kyle. Bad luck.
Please don't beat me up.
Yeah. He didn't want to get whipped in golf.
He would whip your ass.
Was Steven Peterman there?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was a guest captain.
So I've only seen him once in my life, and he just intimidated the absolute
He still has that factor
hell
to
out
it.
of
He got
me.
that. He got the it factor.
Terrifying. Does he still have a goatee?
Him and Dominic Raiola and the Detroit Lions, they were
Does he still have a goatee?
terrorized people.
Yeah, he had facial hair. He's grown his hair out though. He didn't have the shaved head anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you're that big and strong in a goatee. I mean, that's a man to just like do not cross. Do not cross. You
Oh, it
gotta
was
keep
fun.
it
So like, Friday night we had like a little casino night situation.
nice.
We did it at the West Stadium Club where we all got
It's always
together.
great.
You saw just so many human beings that you have forgot about. Really, I don't mean that in a bad way. You just haven't seen teammates for 20 years, and you see people, and it's like, oh my God, it just brings up a lot of memories.
Yeah.
And then we had some nice video shout outs from almost everybody on the coaching staff.
Wait, so
No
I heard,
way.
Yeah, did
So,
a little bit of snippet.
So I heard
Nice.
that.
That's a hell of a staff.
Hell of a staff. Yeah.
So I heard that, of course, Nick, in his office, trophies behind him, very well manicured sweater, vest on, just like the legend that he is. I heard Jimbo looked a little haggard.
Yeah, well, they
Like had
I
a
think
little bit of Bill Murray Kingpin energy.
this was Friday.
Yeah, it was Friday. Like he
Well, I
probably
think-
just learned potentially that he had been fired.
potentially, but I think that I heard it was like also he was kind of. I don't know how early they gave them like a heads up, like, hey, can you do this? I don't think they gave him like a month. I think they probably asked him this past week if they could do it. And I think he waited till like Friday after their practice or walkthrough. So I think he was having to get it in pretty quick.
Is it too much to ask what Saban said publicly? Is that breaking some sort of trust here?
I'm sure it was.
There
Did he
wasn't
just keep it very run of the mill.
There wasn't anything that was like, oh, that hits deep.
No,
there wasn't any.
Did we get a Derek?
I mean, y'all were his first though, dude. Y'all were his first. Like, he's got a lot of them now.
I think the guess was we were like, what's he gonna say? Do you think he'll be like, hey, this is my first of many or something like that? No, everybody was really nice, really awesome. There was some really heartfelt stuff, but there wasn't anything like too.
Did Jimbo get like a good ribbon on anybody?
No, he didn't get anybody. And you know what? So Jesse Daniels wasn't there on Friday night, or we would have heard the "Not today, Jimbo."
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun, man.
It was good. Yeah, we got a Dooley.
We got a Derek Dooley.
We got a Derek Dooley. We got
fully gray-headed Derek Dooley.
Yeah.
Did you even notice that?
Yeah. Did. Yeah,
we got a Will Muschamp.
We got a Will Muschamp.
Oh, this is
let's name them. Let's see. We got everybody. I don't remember the one that we didn't get. Let's see. Stacey Searles.
Oh, nice.
Where's Coach Searles heading at?
Georgia.
He's at Georgia.
Still.
Yeah. There was one coach I couldn't remember his name. He's at Ohio State right now, but you could tell because they had all the Ohio State stuff in the background. Yeah.
Kirk Dahl.
Kirk Dahl, yeah.
Pretty legendary team, legendary
Kirk
staff.
Dahl was there for the little walk on the hill.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
That's
I think he's coaching. I think he's coaching some at a couple different places, but Baggstown.
Speaking of the walk, y'all. Well, so real quick, sorry, somebody's asking about Kirby. Kirby was on that staff, yes? No, Am I crazy? He was after.
Kirby came in 04.
Okay.
He came 04.
And then I think he was like the assistant safety coach.
So I heard on the walk, y'all got to walk behind the baseball team.
Yeah.
So you probably got like a pretty damn good crowd pop, right?
It was good. So like in front of us was gymnastics team.
Okay.
And
directly in front?
Yeah.
And then in front of them was baseball?
No, then I think baseball was behind them, and then I think we were after that.
Were Paul and Livy walking together? The Baton Rouge couple?
Don't know.
He probably doesn't know like anything you said right there.
Paul Skeens, Livy Dunn. Hello, Matt. Do you even social media?
Not really great.
Great American athletes.
They are great American athletes. This is true. All right. College football playoffs last. Or actually, no, sorry. I don't want to get into that.
Oh, I do want to say this. So I get confused for Matt Mock a lot.
Yep.
So I told him,
Makes sense.
during this, I'm going to act as him. And so I gave a lot of teeth advice this past
I was going to say, do you do dental work?
I diagnosed a couple people with some pretty bad tooth stuff.
Did he give any hydration advice?
I don't know. I didn't ask, but I was like, man, those bicuspices are not looking good.
So Matt Mock was there?
Well, yeah, he's a quarterback.
Yeah, I like a lot of people. I'm not going to say a lot of it. Every now and then someone's like, hey, are you Matt Mock? And I'm like, nope. And they're like, oh, and they get all sad and they walk off.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Especially so they didn't know who you were. That's especially funny.
Well, I think they did. It's just like, I mean,
They recognize he's somebody.
And
I don't know.
I think they just said the wrong name.
Yeah, but you still, yeah, okay, well, whatever. There's something deeply funny about, let's say, they don't know who you are, and they're looking for a national championship quarterback, not realizing they found one, but just
honestly.
the
So
wrong one.
most people that are in college or just out of college, they were really young, and when we were playing, let alone Matt Mock was playing, right?
I mean,
so they're
right.
not going to decipher
When
that.
Matt-
They just know
some-
it's a Matt,
Yeah.
and he won,
Right.
and they're saying
kind
Mock.
of like you kind of have similar builds, at least in my mind. You do. I don't even
You're
know
not
if
as
that's true or
follically
not.
challenged as him, though.
Yes.
There you
I
go.
think
You
it's
got
phonically.
there. No, follically.
Follically.
Yeah.
Well, give it time. You also.
Are you serious?
And we all can't look like Wolverine there, buddy.
Mock is like probably 60 years old, though. He was so much older than us.
Y'all could both run, right?
Ish.
Still.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. That 01 SC championship when he came in is still one of my favorite sporting experiences of all time. Are you Matt Mock?
Nope.
No. Well, when we get back, I do want to ask you about another LSU quarterback, Matthew, who appears to maybe be in line to win a Heisman. Let's get Flynn's take on what he saw to Jayden last weekend, and then we can, do whatever other flustering stuff y'all want. Just ask whatever questions you want in the chat. If I deem it funny enough, we'll ask Matt. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com, All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Airline Highways, where you can find him. And if you need a new vehicle, maybe a Toyota certified used vehicle, maybe you got a kid who's about to drive, you want to get them something, you want to upgrade yourself, treat yourself this holiday season. Well, Toyotathon's going on right now. Remember, military members, recent graduates, All-Star always has great deals for you. Maybe you just need a rent for something, some vacation this holiday season. Hit up Lisa Sessions as she's going to get you right. The bottom line is the people at All-Star are great. The deals are great. The selection is great. It's all great at All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com.
Buying new, leasing, and renting through Buying New. You can create that Toyota right there on the website. You can customize it however you want. You can have two murdered out minis like T-Bob and the fam has if you want to. Now, you can go ahead and get that process started. You can check out those rentals per day rental prices reserved today. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford is taking $10,000 off MSRP on all new 23 Ford F-150 Black Widow trucks, plus $2,750 discount APR and 5.9% for 72 months. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Scoocha fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction.
This Sunday, as we bring you 3 different NFL games, we start with the noon kickoff, the Chargers at Packers. Immediately following that, it's Buccaneers at 49ers, and then the night game, the Vikings and Broncos. Catch all 3 of those games right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Started. Welcome back, OTB. Hey, Matt, did you go to the game last weekend? Obviously you did. So you saw, I know, I had to follow that up immediately.
Rhetorical question, Farley.
Rhetorical, yes. But you, so you saw history. You saw a couple things. You saw something that had never been done in the SEC before, a single player amassing 600 total yards. You saw something that had never done in FBS before, with a quarterback going for 350 and 200. I mean, what more can you say about what you are seeing as somebody who played that position out of Jayden Daniels right now? Or have we exhausted all of the positive words?
There's not much more that can be said about it. I mean, every time you see him go out there, he plays better and better. I can say this. I don't know where the Heisman vote's going to go. I know where it should go. It should go to him.
Yeah.
Hands down. I think everybody knows that. The stats prove that. Now we're going to figure out if it truly is the best player or if it's the best player on the best team.
Yeah.
Which happens a lot, but I don't know if this is going to be one of the Heismans. I think usually every year pretty much everyone knows who it's going to be prior to it. This is probably going to be a year where people might watch it. Watch the ceremony, not really
a bit unsure.
Guess.
Yeah, well, a lot of it's going to come down to what Bo Nix and Michael Penix do championship weekend when Jayden's at home.
Yeah, I mean that sucks for sure. But I think if you just compare the stats and watch, and I think Brian Kelly said this past week, if you look at a guy that means the most to his team, I mean LSU is not very good without Jayden doing his thing this year. Like making just absolute something out of nothing.
What about what was your favorite play? Mine was the 51-yard touchdown run. The 85 was awesome, pure speed, but watching him slice the defense on that 50-yard run was just wild to me.
And was that in the second half?
I don't know, boys.
I don't know if I saw that one or not.
Oh, okay. Well, I can show you.
I saw the 80. So they put us, the 03ers, they put us in kind of the nosebleeds. So I was a little bit disappointed in that situation. You have Stephen Peterman and Joseph Adai sitting a section behind the band. No big deal. Anyway, another story. But I had a really good view for the 80-yard touchdown. It was pretty impressive. Watching it from behind like that, it was pretty awesome. So I don't remember seeing the other one. I think because I was one of those guys. We left it.
What about that? Look, man,
we brought kids with us. We brought kids.
Yeah, I brought 5
It's just hard.
I'm past shaming.
All right, so what?
I'm past
Relax.
shaming. It is what it is. If the teams go over championships, people stay. And if they don't, then some people are going to leave. They want to be traffic. It just is what it is at this point. Here is...
Fix the traffic. Then people stay longer.
Here's what I want... Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That is honestly it. Here's one thing I wanted to ask you. He is climbing up NFL scouts boards right now. Yeah. And although the media still is kind of saying third-round pick, like Nick Underhill told us yesterday, what he's hearing from scouts is late first, early second. With what you've seen out of him this year, because coming into this year, I think it's fair to say that none of us were that high on his NFL prospects. What do you kind of think of him translating to the league with the growth that you've seen this year?
I think scouting quarterbacks for the NFL is probably one of the hardest jobs.
The track record would indicate that.
I
yes.
mean, it is borderline impossible because you never know what a guy can do or could potentially do. Before this season, I was as hard on Jayden as anybody was because what I saw was not what he is consistently doing every single game and improving on it. It's just you're I don't know if he can make that step. Who knows? The only concerns that anybody could have is, short and mid-range accuracy. But he's kind of debunked all that recently. The knock on him that I had on him early on was that he was making the easy things look hard. He makes the hard stuff look easy, but he was sometimes making the easy stuff look hard.
Yeah.
He's not doing that anymore. So I don't know what the knock can be. He doesn't have that sexy, tight spiral, big arm,
The latest
super
thing
arm
now,
talent
the
guy,
latest thing
but
now
you don't
that-
have to have that anymore.
Right.
The latest thing now that people are saying is that he's too skinny. And you could actually hear Brian Kelly directly kind of fight against that. And it was one of the press conferences here recently where he basically said, like, people don't appreciate how actually kind of like sinewy strong he is. And that's why he's able to take these
Skinny?
hits.
Is that what someone said that?
Yeah.
He's
I mean,
22.
No, I don't. Look, I don't know. You know, I'm just relaying what is, I don't know, whatever I've heard.
They're going to find something to keep him out of that Heisman.
What I think is crazy, and what for me personally stands out more than anything about his growth is I actually like him in the pocket now better than on the run. Like when you put him on the run, I feel like it cuts down his options and it doesn't go as well. Whereas you give him a full field and a pocket to navigate.
What do you mean on the run? Like
sprinting out? Sprint him out.
Oh,
Yeah.
sprint outs are terrible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like in the past,
Yeah.
like I was always like, well, yes, make it easy for him, cut down the field, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm like, no, I want to give him, if I need a play, I want to give Jayden the entire field to work with.
When you have a quarterback like that, pocket passing puts so much stress on the defense because they don't know what to do as pass rushers.
Yes,
because a lot of
exactly.
times with a guy like him, you'll tell your defensive end, rush up the field or cut underneath try to cut underneath the tackle, but do not rush past the depth of the quarterback.
Yeah.
So it handcuffs you as a defensive end, as a pass rusher. You don't know what to do. A lot of times you're seeing defensive linemen and defensive ends just lock up at
Yeah,
like
it's
2
what
or
you
3
gotta-
yards
it's what you
beyond.
gotta do.
You just stop, lock up, and you try to shed. Like you're basically, you pass rush for a couple seconds or like 1 second, and then you're basically run defense. You're looking at the runner potential, and you're trying to shed a block when he goes. And it's just it puts a lot of stress.
And that's why I'd like the Ole Miss call on fourth down. Like I didn't like getting him on the move and cutting out the field because of the things you're talking about. And then he was just killing them, like with the things that you are talking about. And like when you cut the field, you give him one option. He's so good at finding the second, third, fourth option, and then he runs. Then like I would never call that.
It's amazing when an athlete like him and a player like him at the college level, like it clicks and he figures it out and he plays at a different level on how pedestrian college football can look.
Yeah. Like he looks like he's playing in
and it looks like
fast motion,
everyone's
everybody
just
else in
like on their
slow-mo.
heels, like just go ahead and go, just do it. Yeah.
It's the classic Matrix thing when Neo finally sees the Matrix for what it is, and he's just like.
That's what we saw. I mean, we saw that in 2019. That's what we talked about it when Joe was doing his thing. He's like, you have an NFL quarterback playing in college right now. People always talk about, the college football is this high-level football, and it is. And it's the most fun football to watch, but it's not the NFL.
No.
Like the best college football team would never beat the worst NFL team. They
Well,
wouldn't
and
even
now,
be close.
and not only do you have the quarterback playing at that level, but just like 19, you have 2 NFL receivers, at least seemingly, that he's throwing to, which is a recipe for awesome. All right, when we get back, we will close another awesome hour of flustering.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Yo, check it out, y'all. It is that special time of year at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. That's right. It's time for the Gordon Bike Giveaway of 2023. And guess what? It's the biggest one that Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys has ever done. Going to give away 488 bikes all over the state. And of course, the bike giveaway is inspired by Gordon's fondest childhood Christmas memory, which he woke up receiving a beautiful, shiny red bike on Christmas Day, and he wants to recreate the joy of that holiday. So if you want to be entered to win, follow Gordon on social media at GetGordon, and then register to win at GordonGives.com.
And this is, deadline to enter if you're in the Baton Rouge or Hammond area is December the 7th, but the deadline everywhere else in the state is going to be November the 30th. So that's important to remember those days, December 7th and November 30th. As T-Bob said, to enter, follow on social media, then register to win at GordonGives.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
His name was King. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off MSRP on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. $20,000 off plus no payments for 90 days on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Life in Louisiana is like a run-on sentence. A poem that doesn't rhyme. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. I think we're rocking and rolling.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR, presented by Pluckers. Georgia State head coach Sean Elliott will join us, preview his team's matchup with the Tigers, and we'll preview the weekend in the SEC with Russ Mitchell, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
We are young.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Howdy, y'all. Drink My High, drinkmyhigh.com. Drink My High.
Drink it,
I keep that My High on me. I pick mine up every Friday at Reese's. Very good.
At Rouse's, right?
Yes. At Rouse's. What did I say? Reese's?
Reese's?
No, I meant Rouse.
Also, check it out at Calandro's.
Okay. All right.
Backpacker.
All right.
Look,
Online.
Calandro's doesn't pay us.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Okay?
Sorry.
I don't sit outside Calandro's every Friday slinging gift cards and 104.5
My bad.
ESPN T-shirts.
Sorry.
That's
and
not
cups.
That is not a us. That is
and
a
bottle
doesn't
holders.
pay you.
Well, I believe you have a grocery store ally as well.
I do. Alexander's Market. Shout
Okay,
out.
there you go. Get it right, Matt. Jesus. Watch
Hey,
the film.
A lot of big stuff happening over at My High.
Oh, yeah? What's going on?
Big stuff.
Okay, great.
Wait,
Yeah,
you
always,
set that
always.
up and T-Bob
Deals
put it
being
up on a
done.
tee for you and you just miss it?
A lot of deals being done, guys. Wheeling and dealing.
Look, I told y'all about it. We had a little pause on it, but we are
Earning and
beginning of
burning.
the year. We're busting out some new flavors.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. So,
Mystic Mountain Berry finally coming along?
I already got that.
I do love the berry, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I go back and forth. I don't know if the lemon lime. I always do the 0 calorie one, but I don't know. I literally keep fruit punch, berry, and lemon lime and orange all in a rotation, and I just kind of do whatever I'm in the mood
I got to
for
say,
at the time.
it was a cocktail of choice this past weekend. The My High Zero with vodka and soda water.
Oh, really?
So good walker.
Okay.
A little styrofoam. It's a good walker.
Sounds like good walker.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
man.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a good hour. of
Oh,
radio.
wait. Give me the Coach O video. This is what I knew I had something in my back pocket that I was waiting to bust out here. This is the new Coach O roback commercial here.
I'm Coach O. If you're an athlete like me, you rock the rollback gym shorts. They're lightweight, easy to move in. So go check them out. Rollback.com.
Okay, for those listening on radio, Coach O is freaking jacked right now. That is a divine God-level unit of a man right there. Retirement Coach O continues to ascend. 19 only gets more cherished with time. That man is living his absolute best life. Bro, did you see the abs, boys?
I did. Oh, when he was punching, little left hook, right?
That's what I'm saying. Give me the video without sound, just as we talk about it again here, Taylor. But
I mean, what a unit.
I mean, you could and got that I mean, them thick abs too. You know, that ain't shred. That's just building it more and more and more. Boxing. I mean, find me one coach in the country that whooped Coach O's ass. Find me one.
Find me one person.
Yeah, bet
Nope.
you can. And you also got to understand, this comes in the context of this man grew up in a time when he was fighting every weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Frat boys.
No doubt.
Fun
Fun fights.
Just
Just fun
for
fights.
fun.
Yeah.
Just fighting people constantly. That's a bad man right there. Shout out Coach O, new CEO of Roback. That's what the
He's a
commercial told me.
CEO?
That's what the commercial told me. Yeah, he's their interim CEO.
Yeah.
Not just a member.
Shout out Coach O, man. God, he looked jacked in that video. Isn't it funny? He's just more and more beloved with time, too. Which makes me happy. Yeah, another man enjoying the fruits of some well-earned labor. You know, at least his buyout feels like a bit more earned.
Yeah.
You know? DrinkMyHigh.com. Thank you, Matt.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Rejuve Me Medical, restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. Maybe there's some HRT involved, you know? That could potentially make sense. If you, as you get older, want to look good, feel good, have energy, go get your labs drawn at Rejuve Me. Do the consultation. My wife just finished the process. Had incredible things to say. She got a full body health checkup and put together a plan to accomplish some goals that she wants, right? And well, Rejuve Me can do that for you. And maybe it's HRT, or, you know, I don't know. Maybe you go in and they tell you, like they told Jake, that your testosterone's just astronomical and you don't need any. Or they tell you, like they told me, you have the testosterone of a 70-year-old male. Either way, let them customize a plan to get you where you want to be. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Go to the website, get the consultation set up because you are, you know, maybe dealing with something and you can't get to the bottom of it. You don't know what it is. Well, they're going to know what it is after your labs are drawn at RejuveMeMedical.com.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
His name was Cain. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can lock in the low rate of 3.99% on a Toyota Highlander. That's right, 3.99%. Lock in your low rate while you still can. At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Wednesday, November 15th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 63. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. And you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Y'all stop calling me Low T-Bob. Okay? Relax. Technically true, but I'm still going to need y'all to cease and desist. It's me. You're hurting my feelings.
Low T-Bob.
Yeah.
You can't tell with how often you're bonked on the daily on this program.
Yeah, I never quite understood that either. But I guess that like testosterone and horniness don't necessarily go hand in hand.
Guess not.
Maybe libido exists somewhat independently of it. I don't know.
It's like a different hormone or something, maybe.
Yeah, I guess so. Why'd you say it like that?
Hormone.
Hormone?
Yeah.
Dan Harmon,
Hash browns.
creator of, or one of the creators of Rick and Morty.
Wait, y'all don't say hormones?
Hormones.
Hormones.
I thought that's what I said. Maybe I didn't.
You said
Are you
hormones.
messing, you're messing with us, right? Because you just said it again. You just said hormones again.
That's not what y'all are saying?
No.
He's doing the Stewie Griffin thing.
Hormones.
Hormones.
Okay,
that-
closer that time. Closer that
That
time.
was different than the
I don't-
first
I don't-
one.
I-
Is he doing a coup whip? A coup whip.
But
Maybe-
watching him have to say it the right way looked like more work than running a
It did
110
look- no,
test.
yeah, he definitely says hormones.
Maybe
He definitely
y'all
says
are
hormones.
hearing it a little bit. I don't hear the difference. Maybe I am saying it different. I just don't hear it.
Oh,
Okay.
We all say stuff weird, man.
Atlanta.
So, yes.
I don't say anything weird.
Jaguars.
Yeah.
I don't say anything weird. So
Jaguars. Still think I said it wrong.
I'm perfect.
Huh?
Massage.
Massage. I forgot about massage.
Bomb.
College football playoffs last night, boys. How about it? How about it indeed? The Georgia Bulldogs checking in at number 1, finally making the jump.
Oh, God bless you today.
Yeah. Did a little reaction show last night for a few minutes, and the dogs were out there barking in full force. Freaking weirdos. It makes sense, though. You look at the top 4, Florida State 4, Michigan 3, Ohio State 2, Georgia 1. We can get into Washington, Florida State. I think that continues to be ridiculous. I don't think it matters at all, but I think it's crazy.
But it is.
But I actually completely agree with the top 3. Like, as we talked about the other day, Michigan did not show me enough to say that I should honor the eye test over Ohio State having a couple of wins. Like, they basically did the same thing against Penn State, and then Ohio State has a Notre Dame win that Michigan has nothing that even comes close to matching. So I agree with leaving Ohio State ahead of Michigan. Also, Michigan didn't feel terribly dynamic. Like I said, I needed Roman Wilson to do me more, right? Especially after, like, Marvin Harrison Jr., but whatever. And then Georgia, look, because all this is, it's never, people want it to be like, what is it, resume or the eye test? It's not any one independently. It's a combination of the two, and then you score them in relation to the next team, right? And so now with a couple of nice ranked wins, including Missouri win that continues to appreciate in value, and with Georgia playing better as of late, probably since the Auburn game.
Yeah.
Been pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So they score high on the eye test, and now they have the resume to jump Ohio State. And you got to feel better. I mean, from an eye test perspective, you got to feel better about Carson Beck than Kyle McCord. Carson Beck's playing like one of the best quarterbacks in the country right now.
Yeah, he's certainly lived up to some of the preseason hype that we saw for the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, I mean, the Vandy game after that was kind of clunky.
It was a little clunky. That's the only one.
But still, like, you house Florida in a rivalry game, and then you beat a really good Mizzou team, and that win, it looks like it's just going to continue to gain steam. But, I mean, last week, a top 10 Ole Miss team with everything to play for, it was as hot as any team in the country.
Yeah.
I mean, you dismantled them. And so, yeah, Georgia, before the season, we didn't necessarily think that this stretch would mean anything, but we didn't know how good Mizzou and Ole Miss and those teams were going to be. But now that they've done it, they've beaten really good football teams. And, look, they do deserve a benefit of the doubt. They're the back-to-back national champs. And so,
that's like whether you want to admit it or not. Like, everybody says it shouldn't matter, but we're human beings.
Yeah.
And so it does, you know? Like, it's impossible, even if it's impossible to separate that from your mind if you're on that committee and you're making these decisions. There's no way that you're not thinking about what Kirby, and you should be. I mean, you honestly should be. Like, that goes into the math. I know that every year exists independently of each other in some ways, Jake, but, like, Kirby Smart's still there.
Yep.
A lot of those players are still there. Now, I should point this out. Some of this feels a bit surprising because Georgia did look a little clunky early on. But if we go back to our preseason prognostication, we basically said Georgia's going to run through the schedule. They're going to win the SEC. But I doubt that Bobo and Beck will be. Actually, I said they wouldn't. Now I've lessened that to doubt. Maybe even I feel like they could, but because they're getting better. But I always was a firm believer that they would not win a national championship because Bobo and Beck would not be able to live up to Bennett and Munkin. And now it feels like Bobo and Beck may actually be able to live up to Bennett and Munkin. But I guess the overall point of that is that actually pretty much this is exactly in line with what we thought preseason. It's just when push comes to it's just that also though, Jake, there doesn't seem to be another a great team. And it's like you see how close Ohio State got last year, and now you see C.J. Stroud ball in the NFL, and you're like, well, that makes a little more sense now. And Kyle McCord, C.J. Stroud is not, or C.J. Stroud, Kyle McCord is not.
Yeah, they don't look like they're related at all because of how good one's playing, and Kyle McCord just kind of feels like he's out there, but he doesn't really do anything to affect the game, really either way, good or bad.
He's not bad.
Yeah, he's just out there. Yeah. So I agree with you there. Michigan, I realize you ran the football 32 straight times, which is like the ultimate flex. I mean, I said it's like football erotic is how I described it yesterday, and maybe some of that was because you could, but I mean, JJ throws less than 10 passes. Yeah. Like I don't really know if that's because of the situation or if that's who you're going to try to be in some of these games. And so that's a big question for me for Michigan.
I agree because you're right. A lack of their, they didn't feel very dynamic, but again, a lot of that is because Penn State is just conservative to a fault. Just
to an absolute fault. Like, so much of a fault that questions need to be asked, but we can get there.
Now they fired their OC, dude. 6 OC in 10 years.
Yeah.
This will be the one.
Yeah. This
will be the one.
This will be the one. Because eventually, like the roulette wheel, it's going to hit.
They go get it fixed.
For Florida State coming in at number 4, the Florida State has been a really good football team, and I think they are one of the 4 best teams in the country, but the ACC and really LSU has not really done them any favors. Like LSU losing 3 games, I think that win, like when they had it, they thought LSU would be a team that probably at worst would be 8-2 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And LSU's very close to being that, but having 3 losses and that's your best win. Clemson certainly not the team that we thought they would be. Duke, as Riley Leonard, went out, I still think they're really good. Like when I watch them on tape, they flash, but they're losing games, close games, but they're losing games. And so that's another win for you that is diminishing in value. So for Florida State, it's really not even about you. It's about the teams that you beat on your resume, not holding up their end of the bargain.
Then again, nothing's really changed with Florida State in that if they win out, they won't get jumped. Like because there's not enough undefeated teams. Yeah,
right. No, without question.
So they still will make the playoff if they and they got the easiest path. Now Louisville's good, but
But again, like
you didn't come all this way to blow it these last couple of weeks.
Right.
To a bad Florida team.
In the swamp at night. It's interesting.
Okay.
It's interesting.
Okay.
So Florida State's best win is number 15, LSU. Washington's best win is number 6, Oregon.
Yeah, I mean, so David Hale has a really good article on ESPN where he kind of breaks down who should be mad here, and realistically, a lot of times the answer is like no one. If you just want to be that guy about it, because again, right now Florida State and Washington are functionally both in the top 4. Because Michigan and Ohio State exist in a quantum state where once they play that game, one is out and one is in. But there's somebody said for being the 3 seed over the 4. But then again, that doesn't even really matter because Washington will jump them if they win out. But that said, I still don't understand what the hell the committee is thinking with the Florida State and Washington ranking. So there's a metric called strength of record. And this is if you take an average top 25 team, Jake, and you look at the odds that they would have the same record against the schedule of the team you're judging.
Right.
And UGA scores 7th in the country on this list. Washington scores 2nd. Washington has played 4 teams ranked in the top 25% of FPI. So think about that like a quad 1 win.
Right.
They played 4 quad 1 teams. They won all 4 by an average of 7 points. Ohio State has only played 2 quad 1 teams and won by 3 and 8. So it's and then Florida State's played. I don't know if they've played any. Maybe it's so and then like Oregon and Oregon State get credit for beating Utah, but Washington doesn't get credit for beating Utah for some reason. I don't know. I'd be a little peeved if I was a Husky fan. But hey, you go into Corvallis, you take care of business this weekend, you're gonna be straight. Even though I think they're actually underdogs.
They are.
Right?
They're dogs. Yeah.
Oof.
Well, they're always dogs, but they're dogs in this game too.
True.
Yeah.
John Smith.
How about that?
I know.
By the way, they were in court yesterday, Wazoo and Oregon State, to try to hold on to the Pac-12.
They got it. They control the conference.
Yeah.
They basically said they can't screw over other schools, but they are temporarily in control of the conference for whatever that's worth. I feel like, unfortunately,
while you're thinking of your point, they're already laying the groundwork for Alabama to jump Texas. You're starting to see the shift.
Oh, no, you heard it on the show last night, which I'm sure many of you didn't watch. I did because I was doing that reaction show. And, yeah, they're already having the conversation.
I mean, Herbie has already come out. He's like, well, head-to-head's a metric, but it's not the only metric. Yeah. And I'm like, uh-oh.
He's not wrong, though. You take Alabama or Texas right now, they play today. Which sucks. I know.
But T, we're not even talking they played those games without Quinn Ewers he missed a long period of time. Now he's got to get back. They lost their running back for the year. I understand all of that, but I cannot forget. I know it feels like 4 years ago, but I saw what they did against that team.
Let's not get too upset about it though, because Alabama has to beat Georgia. And I don't think they're beating Georgia. And that would be the only context in which it even becomes a conversation. Because you are right.
Fair.
For my sentence that I just said, throw that sentence out the window. They lost a head-to-head. If they beat Georgia, who's on a 28-game win streak and blah, 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 then it becomes something more real. But I don't think they're going to.
I don't either. But if it happens and Alabama jumps Texas and they get into the 4, Texas doesn't. If Texas wins the Big 12, they don't get in. Now, some of this will be lost because Texas is about to join the SEC bias, but there's going to be – Danny Cannell is going to be like pitchforks and flames walking around everywhere he goes if the SEC team jumps the Big 12 team when they have the same record and the Big 12 team went to their place and beat them.
And not only that, let's not act like Texas won on a walk-off field goal.
Right.
They were
they
about 10
dominated.
points, could have scored again, started taking a knee in Alabama territory with about a minute and a half to go. I mean,
maybe they should have scored.
It wasn't that close.
Sorry, boys.
You should have just punched it in.
But okay, Taylor. But what if you have Alabama SC champion just beat Georgia, and you have a 12-1 Big 12 champion?
No, I'm not disagreeing. That's the thing.
I'm saying, who are you taking?
I'm still taking that. Man, head-to-head means so much.
If Alabama beats Georgia,
I get it.
Yes. And then the SEC.
I'm probably taking Alabama.
Leave the SEC champion out the playoff? That's the other element of this.
I get
I
it.
would.
I would too.
I would. It's not going to happen. What you are saying is going to happen, but I would because I won my Power 5 conference, and I beat you in your place. I also have ranked wins against Kansas and Kansas State. Like, I have other wins.
Texas has a really good opponent win-loss metric.
No, who should
I think
second?
they got the one-loss team screwed up. Oregon should not be 6.
No.
It should be Texas, Alabama, then Oregon.
Yeah, the optics are not going to look good. Paul Feinbaum would set the world on fire from his studio, but head-to-head means a lot to me.
I agree. I think it 100% should be Texas, but if Alabama beats Georgia, they're taking Alabama.
So that's where I disagree. Because I'll just admit that I'm at war with myself. Because if Alabama did beat Georgia in the SEC championship, I would actually feel like they're probably playing better football than Texas. Let's see how Quinn finishes out these last couple of weeks. But no, I think a one-loss SEC champion. I would be at war with myself. That's what I'm saying. I would be torn completely between both sides. Because again, the deepest and funniest irony of all of it is that Alabama has the best loss. The best loss in that case. Because the only team they lost to is a 12-1 champion. Yeah. Who's like 4th or 5th in the country.
What helps all of this is if Florida State's able to lose a game somehow.
Yeah.
Louisville can beat Florida State. I'm not calling for it. I'm not saying it's going to happen. But Louisville's a team that can get it done. They've got enough.
If they do it, Alabama and Texas are both in.
Florida State has no room for error.
Yeah.
0.
No, that's been the case since day one with Florida State, though.
Yeah. I mean, there was a small time, when UNC and Miami and Duke were all hot in the streets. But as soon as that went away, it's all right, you got to be perfect.
Yeah. And that's kind of been the ACC's lot in life for years now.
Yeah.
You got to be perfect. You ain't getting
I don't know. I forget who I was talking to yesterday. Too many shows. But they're like, SMU joining the ACC. I'm like, oh, yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Why is I don't remember that at all.
Exactly. I felt like I was agreeing with somebody. Yeah, SMU.
Don't
ACC,
think I knew that was a thing.
Yeah.
Isn't Stanford joining
and
as
Cal?
well?
Stanford, Cal, and SMU.
It's beyond stupid.
And then they did not take Oregon State or Washington State. They took Cal.
Yeah.
Why is Penn State ranked above Ole Miss and Oklahoma? Ole Miss has 3 quad 1 wins, LSU, Auburn, A&M. Oklahoma 4, if you're talking about SMU, Iowa State, Texas, UCF. Well, yeah, I think this was FPI. Maybe it wasn't quad 1. But Penn State beat Iowa. Penn State has 1 quality win on the entire year. I don't know. I don't think Penn State's that good. I
don't either. Now after watching them twice, I thought they were coming into the year because of everything we were sold a bill of goods. I'm out.
They have an awesome defense. Defense. They got a bad offense.
Yeah. College football sicko would be LSU versus Penn State or LSU versus Iowa in a bowl game.
Yes, please.
Bad on bad.
Give it to
good
us.
on good.
Why is Iowa so low as well?
Yeah, I mean, they have, one of the worst offenses I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, sorry.
Most predictable offense I've ever seen in my life. Hey,
sorry,
let's run inside zone.
Sorry, all they
again.
do is win.
Is Kirk Ferentz the college Mike Tomlin? Doesn't matter who his quarterback is. Doesn't matter how much they get outscored per season. They're going to win games.
Well, Mike Tomlin also won championship.
Well, I understand that, but
somewhat.
Well, I mean, come on though. It's easier. I mean, this sounds weird.
Do not even say that. Don't say that. It is hard at both.
No, but you don't think it's easier for an NFL coach to win a Super Bowl than for Kirk Ferentz to win a Big Ten championship compared to Ohio State and stuff? I'm just saying by design, a more even playing field. I'm
With less
not saying it's easy to
teams
win a
and-
Super Bowl.
I get what you're saying,
Yeah,
but-
that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that, like, Iowa's never going to have the – I mean, maybe once every 10 years they're going to have the dogs to beat an Ohio State.
What
and
would
a
the
Michigan.
over-under be if LSU and Iowa play in a bowl game? That's
What
the real
happens
question.
when an immovable object
Yeah.
makes an unstoppable force? I have no idea.
Well, that's what people talk about all the time. They're like, if Iowa's offense is always bad, why are they not putting blame on Kirk Ferentz? Why is he not on the hot seat? I'm like, what are they ever going to do?
Well, because they win.
I was what I was going to be, though.
Yeah, they're 8-2 again. You look up and they win.
They're going to be in a Big Ten championship game.
Yep.
They're going to get the doors blown off of them, but they're going to be, 10-3.
And
when you look up
10-3 if they lose their bowl game, 9-4. But either way, like,
well, they'll be 10-3 because they would have gotten to the championship at 10-2, 10-3. So at minimum they'll be
10-4.
10. Yeah, it'd be 10-4 or
Yeah.
11-3.
And I mean, and also, like, Kirk just lives his life honestly.
Yep.
He told you at Big Ten Media Days last year the single most overrated stat in all of football's offensive yardage.
Yeah.
So he ain't hiding, He's like Popeye. I am who I am.
I want to play Iowa so bad for science in the chat.
I also don't know how 10-0 Liberty, 10-0 JMU aren't maybe sneaking in somewhere. I would drop Oklahoma State out there, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
I know you had the big win, but I can't watch you get your ass kicked by South. I mean, an ass kick, not like slight loss, but run off the field by South Alabama and UCF. We can give you credit for having some frisky stretches, but I don't think you could be in the top 25 after that.
I agree. You can't get deboed like that and still be in the top 25. Can't happen. I'm with you though. I mean, Liberty, JMU, both. I mean, really good football teams. JMU still waiting on the NCAA to do the right thing so they can play in the Sun Belt Championship. The closer we get to this deal, I don't think that's going to be the case, and they're going to get screwed out of a potential really good bowl game.
Charlie Baker just sucks. The new NCAA president, for all the talk of being so like we talked about how you needed somebody transformational and somebody who was going to be dynamic and willing to make big decisions in a time when college sports is as dynamic as it's ever been, and he's just proven to be the politician that his career, what she was. He's a career politician, and I don't know, man. Like at a certain point, Baker, just give yourself a dub, like. You kind of did with Tez Walker, but then you still kept things petty.
Yeah.
But, like, just let JMU play, and people be like, this is a great decision by the NCAA.
And like Michigan, like you didn't do nothing. You passed that to the Big Ten.
Yeah.
You gave information to the Big Ten so they could be the bad guy in that scenario, or they could be the winner, depending on which side of the table you're on. But
it's kind of dumb, but I'm coming out on the other side saying that I'm kind of starting to feel for Michigan. I don't know how this stuff works. I don't know how my brain works. I feel like I'm being politically manipulated, but I'm kind of like, yeah, screw the Big Ten, dude. Like I keep going back to the Desmond Howard quote where he's like, you think Greg Sankey be going after Nick Saban, even if it was Kirby Smart complaining? It's like, no, I don't think.
Well,
not during the year.
No, Harbaugh's not Saban, but I see as far as
Or flip it, Saban going after Smart, whatever you want to say. Like he is that's their big two.
Right.
It's their Big Two.
Didn't have the resume, but still their Big Two.
It's their Big Two. He's won your last two Big Ten championships, playoffs, all that. So, no, I mean, I don't know. All right, when we get back, more OTB. Keep it locked.
OTB. OT.
CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. Central Plummet yourself. If you want, you go to check out the showroom and go pick up all the parts that you need. But, don't do that. Okay, just call them, man, Just get Central Plumbing out to your house, 24/7 emergency service. Everybody's licensed, bonded, and insured. They're going to take care of you, make sure your plumbing issues are solved. It's not just residential, it's commercial as well. Been there for 50 years. They've seen it all. Flat rate price. You already know the deal. Lock it in your phone, 925-8552.
Also, lock it into your phone or web browser, centralplumbing.org, the website. Do people still do that? What? Use websites on the computer, just do it on the phone. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Just go to centralplumbing.org. You'll see all the information that we tell you about every single day as far as the remodels, as far as the tankless water heater where you never run out of hot water again. You can always pick up the phone, call them anytime, 24/7, 225-925-8552.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well.
Hannegriff, join us for the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch from Modesto, Burbank at Nicholson. Scott Rabelais with us, as well as Wes Reynolds and the red-hot Randy McKay. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
I can see you smiling, Mario. Why are you smiling?
Because I don't want to see you say anything about the music.
Yeah, I knew
you were
it.
just
I knew
vibing to
it.
it.
No,
I'm
I
going
was
to start
not
making you a
vibing to it.
playlist
I was
before
not
the show.
Yes, you were. You were rocking
all.
back and forth to the
I was
music.
not vibing to it at all. That's how you knew that that's how I knew that you knew that I was about to say something because you could sense it.
You're a buster.
Dubstep died. It was fun for a while. Maybe this is technically more trap, but still, either way, it was fun for a while.
It's
That
crap.
while is not now.
I've never heard this even of the song. It's kind of cool.
No, it's not.
I don't even know what this is. What song is this?
I feel like I'm having an auditory seizure.
Yeah.
Is my nose bleeding?
It's just from the rotation. All three of you are
rotate it out.
always welcome to give a suggestion at any time.
I mean, also, like, we talk about music artists we like on this show a lot, and you can just pick from that bank.
That is fair. You know, we could be maybe more voice forward with what we would want to hear, but
Elvis, Morgan Wallen, John Baptiste. Is that?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much nailed everybody. I would say.
What?
Did not nail me.
Yeah, Jerry Lee Lewis.
Okay, I'm sorry, Taylor. Who would be a better?
Sam Cooke. There's a lot of people. Jacob Banks.
I play more Tim McGraw than Morgan Wallen.
I prefer that. It's fun.
Yeah, Taylor likes old '90s country.
I don't think Morgan Wallen's that great. He's okay.
Really? Okay.
Because he likes Luke Combs, and you can't like one and like the other.
Do they have beef?
No, they don't. They do.
They don't have beef.
No, Taylor's going to deny it, but if you like one, you don't like the other.
Okay.
I think
without question, everybody.
Morgan Wallen's music is, in the broadest sense possible, country music.
I think he's about as country as a city bus. I don't vibe with the music.
I'm so ignorant to country music. You know this, but it feels like there's a lot of gatekeeping. Like between Florida Georgia line, people always say that's not country. Little Nas X with the Old Town Road song, that's not country. Now you're saying Morgan Wallen's not really country.
I extend that
agree.
to music in general. There's just always been gatekeeping in music.
Yeah, but country in specific.
I agree, and I'm not as strict on it as most people. I don't think Morgan Wallen's that good. I just don't. His good is really good, but his bad is really bad. That's kind of how I look at him.
Volatile.
Yes.
Okay.
Bring back the Applebee's song.
Oh,
yes.
God, that was so bad.
No, it wasn't. Crazy Like was awesome. It was a better time in America. Think about it. There weren't multiple
Bourbon Street steak.
Political
Oreo shake.
There weren't multiple.
You just enjoyed the
World Wars.
Applebee's shout out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Eating good in the neighborhood.
God, are you really getting the fake Louisiana branded steak, the Bourbon Street steak from Applebee's?
Are you getting a steak from Applebee's?
Honestly, no. But it's in the song. So.
I mean, look, I can't talk too much crap. I did tell my wife I loved her in front of a Chili's, and
well, look, I would tell you I loved you in front of a Chili's.
I do like spinach artichoke dip.
Chili's just gets the endorphins going. I get it.
I like Chili's spinach artichoke.
Texas cheese fries, like Flynn was talking about. Jayden Daniels getting better and better every game. It feels like the Texas cheese fries are better with every visit. Had some before high school football last weekend. It was awesome.
What, Texas cheese fries?
Yes.
I haven't had cheese fries in a long time. Some other things to get to today. What are the did y'all know this, dude? I forgot to mention during the buyouts. James Franklin has a $65 million buyout. Not that he should be fired from Pitt State. He shouldn't, right? Like to paint James Franklin and Jimbo Fisher in the same boat is absolutely absurd. But let's put Flynn's theory to the test, right? Surely James Franklin could start signing dynamic athletes and number one athletes because he has that security, right? That all the players can be aware of. I don't know. Y'all hear Jim Harbaugh's going to be in court Friday?
Yes.
Parking tickets? Yes. No. Okay, so a couple of crazy details. So when it comes to the Michigan saga here, first off, Michigan did not learn, and this is a pretty bold move for a first-year commissioner in Tony Petitti. So Tony Petitti suspends Jim Harbaugh for the rest of the season, right? Ward Manuel, the Michigan AD, and Michigan in general, did not learn of it from Tony or his office. They learned of it from social media on the plane, meaning they leaked out the punishment before immediately contacting Michigan and let them know. That's pretty freaking disrespectful to me, right? Like that's pretty bold there from Tony. And then how about this? So this Friday, Jim Harbaugh is going to court where he's going to hear arguments that would potentially grant a restraining order that would nullify the Big Ten for being able to do this. This is what we kind of painted from the beginning as potentially going to be the play here. Guess where the courthouse is?
Ann Arbor.
Washtenaw County Courthouse in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I think I heard the judge may be a Michigan grad. Not sure about that.
You think he'll get off easy?
But he's a judge. He can't have bias.
Yeah.
He swore that.
That's very true. I forgot.
Yeah, he swore that.
No, I would say he probably has a pretty good chance of getting this granted because if there's one thing I feel like you can always do legally, it's just gum things up, even if you're guilty. Just grind those wheels to a halt and just obfuscate. Make it look a little muddy. I do love this. Harbaugh seems like he's really hyped to just get up and talk in court. He says, quote, "I'm going to talk on Friday. I'm just looking for the opportunity. due process. Again, very intentional due process there. I'm not looking for special treatment. Not looking for a popularity contest. Just looking for the merit of what the case is. Also, John Harbaugh came out and defended his brother and said, look, man, they've poured through Jim's phone. They've poured through his computer. Like, apparently they've seized everything, gone through everything, haven't turned much up, according to John. Here's where it gets funny to me. He would go on to say, Jim would, I've always felt like it'd be cool to get up there and thunder away at a jury like Tom Cruise at A Few Good Men, or be a judge. Alas, I did not go to law school. This would be the first time I've ever really been in that situation. You could do an incredible parody of the Few Good Men scene.
Yeah, you could.
Right? Like Jim Harbaugh talking about, okay, you want to win? Yeah, you know what? You want to. Who watches you when you sleep at night? You want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Did I hire Connor Stallion? So what if I did? Did you want a Big Ten championship? Did you want to beat Ohio State? You can't handle the truth.
That's pretty good.
What do you think, dude?
That's pretty good. Did you also hear Jim Harbaugh? He had a little raspy voice yesterday, and they're like, he's kind of sick. And then he talked about, like, basically he can't get sick, and he just got a good workout in. He's going to work the sickness out. I was like, have you and Joey Hester been talking to each other? Because Joey used to say the same thing, that sickness was a mindset.
Very famously, I thought that too, and I kept trying to work out through the shingles, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. No, but he didn't he very famously say a couple years ago, like, he doesn't get sick because, like, milk and chicken or something along those lines. Am I making that up?
No, probably not. He had a great quote about being sick yesterday, but basically that you can fight it off. You can just work it out. He said he denied being sick. He said, I am the iron wall that viruses bash against and shatter.
What a legend, dude.
You see, he said he's going to do a couple more push-ups and eat an apple, and that might be the cure.
Yeah. I mean, look, what does an apple a day do?
Keeps the sickness away.
Keeps the doctor away. But, yeah, basically. Yeah, same thing.
Same thing. Jim Harbaugh's not going to the doctor. So.
True. Very true. So I look forward to hearing from Jim Harbaugh in court come Friday. When we get back, I look forward to hearing from you. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
OTB, OT.
Noel Family Distillery. If you know me, well, you know I love Noel. Look, man, the official tequila of LSU Athletics. It's incredible. Natalie and Chip Noel, the father-daughter combo that are changing the spirits game. They worked for years to create exquisite spirits, okay? That's rum made from your Louisiana sugarcane. That's tequila from Mexico, where Natalie Noel spent months in Mexico studying, tasting, learning, and creating a unique blend that you can really say is a Louisiana tequila. If you taste it, you're going to know what I'm talking about. You got Blanco, Reposado, vodka, pickle, vodka. So you want Noel Family Distillery out of Donaldson. Noel Family Distillery. Go check it out today. Ask for it at your local bar. Buy from the boot, you bums. Stop supporting Texas. Didn't you just see all the freaking NIL crap we just talked about? Buy from Noel. Noel Family Distillery.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further.
This Sunday, as we bring you 3 different NFL games, we start with the noon kickoff, the Chargers at Packers. Immediately following that, it's Buccaneers at 49ers, and then the night game, the Vikings and Broncos. Catch all 3 of those games right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide in a champagne supernova in the sky. Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide in a champagne supernova.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
I know Wonderwall gets, around the campfire with the guy bringing out the acoustic guitar to try to impress everybody, but I might like Champagne Supernova better.
It's a jam.
I think it's a little bop. And maybe because, the Wonderwall was overplayed. I don't know.
No, they're brothers. I mean, these are the 2 Oasis bops. There's more, but these are the big boys. These are the Ohio State, Michigan of the Oasis category. Without a doubt. 100%. I would give a slight edge to Wonderwall, but this is still great. Real quick, shout out to the LSU women's basketball team. Setting a record last night. Most points ever scored in a half. 70 points in the second half. How many Michaela Williams ended up dropping overall?
42?
42 points, yeah. She also had 7 rebounds.
Shout out, 3-1, great.
There we go. The Jamoki squad making it pop. Who put this Brandon Zimmerman Twitter thread in here? Because I love this.
I put that. I found it. I thought it'd be funny.
So I loved what Dan Lanning had to say yesterday. Of course, Texas A&M has it in their, well, not in their minds, their dreams. We all have dreams. Their dreams would be to get one of the Dans, be it Campbell or Lanning. Obviously, neither are happening, or obviously on Campbell, right? I guess there was maybe some idea that Lanning could entertain it. He said, quote, "Everything I want exists right here. I'm not going anywhere. There's 0 chance I'll be coaching somewhere else next year. I've got unfinished business here. We have the resources, the tools. Anybody that cannot understand why you would want to be at this place doesn't understand exactly what exists here." He would go on to say, here it is. Sorry, I had to readjust my window a little bit. I cut off it. Okay. He would go on to say, a lot of coaches don't say anything. 1, because they don't want to get egg on their face and they decide to do something else. 2, because they're concerned about things that I'm not concerned about, like getting a better contract. I'm taken care of extremely well here at Oregon. I have the resources that I need to be here to be really, really successful. I'm not motivated by that. I'm motivated by winning. Dan Lanning's not going anywhere.
You've got 2.
I'd be so happy if I was an Oregon fan.
Yeah, you've got 2 good reasons not to leave: Willie Taggart and Mario Cristobal.
Bruh, I mean, if you're an Oregon fan, this is truly the Rascal Flatts moment. Like, God really did bless the broken road that led you to
I didn't know which
Dan.
lyric we were going with.
No, I mean, it led you, that there was a broken-ass road that led you to Dan Lanning, and yet you lucked out. Willie Taggart didn't end up just being okay. He ended up being awful.
Yeah.
Mario Cristobal is just okay, which obviously the level that he's paid at is not good enough. Mario Cristobal has a career head coaching record of 73-71. 73-71. And in another year where he's all hyped up Miami's supposed to be good, they're basically barely above 500.
Yeah.
Dan Lanning looks like he could be one of the greats, and he's 37 years old, and he's fully committed to Oregon. Like, you have got to be ecstatic right now if you are an Oregon fan. Shout out. After three of your last four coaches leave you voluntarily. And really for lateral to downgrade moves when you're talking about Taggart and Cristobal.
You and I were talking about this in the offseason, why people tried to rush out of Eugene, and now going to the Big Ten, the money's going to go up. So the $6.6 million that Dan Lanning is making this year probably going to have to rotate and turn into $9.9 million.
So Brandon Zimmerman says, I do want to remind you real quick, go to AgTech Baton Rouge, agtechbr.com. AgTech Baton Rouge, you get that service to the highest degree, all your AC, heat, and electrical needs. You want AccuTemp. They're the absolute best. Ask about the Star Club membership where it's a flat fee, and they stay on top of everything for you. Make sure that you are taken care of. AgcuTemp's the best. AgTemp Baton Rouge, agtechbr.com, agtechbr.com. So Brandon Zimmerman says, I'm starting a thread of coaches' responses this week. To being asked about their interest in the A&M job. I've graded them on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being a strong denial and 5 being gig 'em. Obviously, Dan Lanning gave a 1, right? Like strong. That's a strong. He ain't going nowhere. Lane Kiffin said, quote, I'm not going there again. I should have been prepared for that question. I wasn't, so I'm just not answering that. Ugh. Brandon scores that as a 4. Now, Billy Lucci did try to tell me that Lane Kiffin's a non-starter. That feels crazy to me, but that's what he
told me the same thing. Him and Ross Bjork, not a great relationship.
Yeah, that's what is being claimed.
Yeah.
Dabo Sweeney says, I'm just focused on this job, always have been, just trying to beat North Carolina. It must be November. That's all I can say. That's interesting to me because I don't think Dabo's going anywhere, obviously, but I think Dabo's kind of pissed right now and has no interest in a emphatic denial. You know what I'm saying? Like
you're talking about Dabo with the cultish type stuff they do at Texas A&M.
Match made in heaven.
Oh my God.
Dion, I tell them my mother's here, my sister's here, my dog is here, my daughter's here, 3 of my sons are here. My other daughter comes to darn near every home game. I get mail here. I pay taxes here. I'm here.
Who was that?
Dion.
Okay.
That's
just
not quite the denial that I thought you were going to get it all out
at
of
all.
Dion.
He's just saying where everything physically is.
Yeah.
That's not denying anything at all.
Are you just naming things around the room, Brick?
I get mail here.
My cell phone is currently next to me. Okay, look, you're going to say I'm being a hater, T-Bub, but I'm not. I'm just being honest. Why would Texas A&M offer Dion a job? We don't know if he can coach.
We don't know what Dion's ceiling is yet.
I've seen that name thrown out, and they're like, we can recruit really well. I'm like, Jimbo could recruit really well. Like, you need
No. He can't. You can't say you recruit really well because that's the one thing Dion has not proven that. I would be giving him a job because he's a good coach.
Is he though? That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't know. I mean, he's 4-6 in Power 5.
No. I don't care about the record. I know he's a good coach.
You don't care about the record?
Yeah, I don't care about the record. I look at a Jack State, and then what I'm saying is Texas A&M's going to have to make a judgment call. If you're going to hire Mike Elko, he's 6-4. So what the hell are you talking about? Like, you're going to have to hire someone who doesn't have a good resume. There is no killer candidate out there. What I'm saying is when I watch Dion talk, I think he's a very good coach. It's going to take the AD believing in someone in that same manner. That's why I'm saying Dion's a good coach.
I get it. And there's risk involved, but it's like, can you afford another risk if you're Ross Bjork? Like,
what's unrisky?
I'm saying
the
there may be less risk, is what I'm saying. He's coached 10 games in Power 5, is all I'm saying.
What is more risk versus less risk when you got to get it right? Like, you got to go with the guy. They're going to have to take a chance with somebody they believe in because there ain't no killer.
Elko
out
a little bit more than Dion because he did have 9 wins.
He's also been there as a coordinator. He
knows
he
knows
the,
he had
yeah,
top.
he
He
knows
had,
the
was also
A&M thing.
dominant on the HBCU level.
Right.
Which you could say equals 9 wins, multiple like one
Not
loss
the
seasons.
SEC level.
And I like people that win. We talked about that with Kleiman. We've talked about that with DeBoer, other people. Elko does have 9 wins, and so it's you can use that because Duke's an incredibly difficult place to win football games. But I think it is because he has been there. He was there 4 years. He had a top 35 defense every year that he was at A&M, and you probably need somebody that understands some of the ins and outs of Texas A&M if you want to have success as fast as they want to have it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Deion's going to leave his kids anyway. But that was just an interesting.
No, I don't think he's going there. Why? Like, let me ask you all this, and I know we got to real quick. Like, why is Jamie Chadwell, like a name like that, not being mentioned with A&M, but he is with Mississippi State?
Yeah,
almost like
you're
not good enough to
he was.
What?
Look at what Grayson McCall has done this year without Jamie Chadwell. He a couple years ago, people were like, "I don't care. He plays for Coastal Carolina. He's a top 5 quarterback in the country." He's nowhere near that level now. And Liberty's they're firing on all cylinders.
I agree with everything you said. We got a break. Hire Biff Poggy. More OTB coming up next.
OTB, OT.
I lost my sheet,
K to Z, as easy as 1, 2, 3.
K2Z, that's KTOZ blinds.com, KTOZblinds.com. K to Z window coverings. If you want window coverings that wow aesthetically, functionally, you're looking to bring your interior or exterior to the next level. You want some nice shutters that the people, oh my God, look at this plantation shutters, a nice thing outside. Or maybe you got like a little outdoor living space. You need something to keep the bugs out, maybe the heat out, the sun out. Look, the point is they know what they're doing, okay? Let them handle it. Let them give you your options, your selections, and whichever one in your family's into interior design, you're going to be so much happier after you get with K to Z.
Go to that website, KTZBlinds.com. You'll see the things we tell you about blinds, shades, shutters, drapes. They've got it all, interior and exterior, and they're going to know your space. They're going to know it better than probably you do after they leave. They're going to walk in, tell you exactly what you need, so many different options and colors to choose from. So go to that website today. Get that consultation set up, K2ZBlinds.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Life in Louisiana is a song. A symphony of sound, colors, and movement. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast office products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR, presented by Pluckers. Georgia State head coach Sean Elliott will join us, preview his team's matchup with the Tigers, and we'll preview the weekend in the SEC with Russ Mitchell, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
All right, welcome back into OTB. T-Bob had a haircut, so we had to Christian Bale, but we want to tell you about our friends over at DraftKings. There's so much to be thankful for. Family, friends, food, and NFL football all week long. DraftKings Sportsbook is keeping your Thanksgiving week full of action. New customers can bet just $5 on the NFL. Oh, score 150 instantly in bonus bets. So go ahead and get that done. No matter your appetite, there's something for you. Money lines, parlays, props, live bets, and so much more. You name it, they've got it. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code Baton Rouge. New customers can bet $5 on the NFL Thanksgiving action to score 150 instantly in bonus bets. Again, only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official betting partner of the NFL, with code Baton Rouge, all one word, Baton Rouge. The crown is yours. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 or older, physically present in Louisiana. Select parishes only. Licensed partner Golden Nugget, Lake Charles. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Terms at sportsbook.com. Check those out, /football for terms. All right, it is time for Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Cruise Light, Vizzy Hard Seltzer, Blue Moon, Light Sky, Citrus Wheat. Ask the Bench, what is the best job that is currently open in the country?
I mean, A&M's attractive. I know it's not a good thing for us, but the resources they have, got to be A&M.
Yeah, I mean,
UCLA becomes interesting if it does become open.
If it happens. I mean, right now, the only ones we know that are big time is A&M and Mississippi State, and you got to go A&M over State.
Interesting for sure, but I'd still go A&M, even if that's the case.
Mississippi State has an opportunity, I think, to do something that could really help them in the near future, like immediately. If they go and they hire a Jamie Chadwell, a Willie Fritz, there's some names out there that A&M thinks they're better than they're not, and Mississippi State can thrive because of it. So that's a job that I'm paying attention to, maybe the closest. All right, that's going to do it for today. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place for OTB.
OTB, OT.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the